Hey, what's up everybody? Zach here, the CEO of Hyper RPG, to give you a really quick reminder that if you want to affect tonight's show, you can head over to bannersagaRPG.com. Now on that webpage, you're going to see a couple different things that you can interact with. First of all, if you connect your Twitch account, then every interaction you make actually costs more points. If you're a subscriber to the channel, your vote costs us 5 extra points. If you're just a follower, it's 1 extra point just by connecting your Twitch account. Then you're going to scroll down a little bit more and you're going to click on one of the icons to represent the choice that you would like to make. This affects the overall game and what's going to happen later on, and it adjusts the morale in the studio, which changes the lighting and has an impact on what's happening live and in real time. While you're there, why don't you go ahead and scroll down even more to see character stats on all the people that are on screen at the current moment. You don't have to wait for us to show it on screen. You can see it right there just by clicking on the player icons. At the top of the page, you can click on the Banner Saga 3 image to purchase the game, and we really want you to do that. The whole reason this show exists is to show you how amazing the world of Banner Saga is and get you interested in the game. So go ahead, pick up Banner Saga 1, 2, and 3 on any and all platforms. Stick around for chances to win stuff all night long and enjoy the show.
Some believe that the gods watch over us, that they tend and care for humanity as we might watch over a herd of yaks. There are others who think we're just their playthings, moved around a game board of our lives in service to their plans. There are myths that the gods come and walk amongst us too. Blessing or curse, the gods' influence can be felt in the weft of all of our stories. They say the old places are the most sacred, that the cities and towns we gather in belong to us, but the woods, the mountains, and the wide open plains belong to the gods, and in them we are only visitors. We fade in on the great umber shadow of the old wood, deep and mysterious, lined with narrow paths like veins in marble. Into it we go, swallowed up by leaves and stones, hopefully to emerge from the other side, and beyond that, the long haul of Grinholm. So before we set out into the wood, before I plague you with all sorts of nature problems to deal with, the caravan has a decision to make. So caravan, you know that the old wood is ancient and sacred, bequeathed, they say, to the king of Arborang by the gods themselves. So as you travel the paths left by the animals of the woods, will you treat the woods with appropriate piety, ignoring a chance to harvest the plentiful berries and mushrooms you see along the way in favor of showing your respect for the god's bounty? Will you search the nearby woods as you camp, taking only some of what you find? The gods gave us the woods so we would have food to eat and wood for our crafts, after all. Or do you take what you will, hunting game, feasting on the great bounty of the woods? If the gods didn't want us to feast, they wouldn't have made us so hungry. So go ahead and get over to BannerSagaRPG.com and lock in your votes there. I will be keeping an eye on you. So as for you, friends, you've dispatched your enemies. You leave behind you a trail of corpses, but also mercy. You showed mercy. Not everyone got the sword, and before you lie the old woods. So with a quick check of the caravan supplies, you know that you have 10 days of food remaining to you. The journey to Grinholm is another 14 days, so not quite enough at the current pace you've been going at. You also have been relieved of your medical supplies. Someone has stolen away with your medicine, so if anybody gets sick or injured, it's going to be a tough time getting them back on their feet. Things are not lost just yet, but they're looking a little more complicated than you'd hoped. So, entering the wood, do you want to try to push on as quickly as you can? So do you want to ramp up the pace and thrust forth into the woods? Or do you want to go slower and try to scavenge, hunt for food, bolster your supplies as you go? What do you think? I turn it to you.
Well, food is very important for surviving, and I always feel like that's a good thing to do. But
yeah, the caravan would probably agree that eating.
I think they would like to eat. Yes.
Eating to live is important.
How far away are we from our destination?
14 days.
14 days, yeah.
With 10 days of food.
Yes. I think we should hunt. I mean, Bjorn and I can hit the woods, maybe scrounge up a deer or some squirrels. We love squirrels.
Maybe radish.
Maybe some radishes.
Yeah.
Wild radishes. Although not as good as my homegrown radishes.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Isgard, you're making faces. Do you think that's a bad idea?
There are forces in these woods that we would do well to be fearful of. I'm not saying we shouldn't hunt, but perhaps we could press on during the day, and when we stop to rest, maybe send out small parties to hunt or gather supplies. But for the most part, I feel like we would be best served to move through these woods as fast as possible.
Is hunting in the dark not also dangerous?
It depends on the skill of the hunter, I would presume.
What's your skill level?
I don't have night vision or anything like that.
How are bears in seeing through the dark?
Bears, I believe, are daytime hunters. They are not nocturnal. So we would be better in the daytime hunting.
Would it be possible to rest the caravan during the day then and travel at night?
It might be wise to keep on guard during the night, so that might be a better plan. Are there also any rivers nearby, or is it just all woods?
It's all woods. Yeah, there'll be creeks and streams throughout the woods, keeping them fed. But no major river between here and the other side.
Okay.
I say we travel on. Whatever comes to us, we'll just attack it as it comes.
Okay.
Okay.
Brunt force.
Indeed.
But forest creatures, when they hear a large caravan coming, will sometimes get out of the way, making it harder to hunt them. Perhaps a small detachment should go into the woods and then meet back up with the caravan.
A hunting
party
ahead
some sort of hunting
of the
party.
caravan.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes. Maybe without the loud, noisy Varl. Maybe a human hunting party.
It sounds like
And
you're volunteering
Yes.
to lead this hunting party.
Yes.
Okay. All
Bjorn
right.
and I will lead. Anyone who wants to go with us is welcome.
Okay. All right. Well, the caravan is large, and bringing back enough food to keep them fed is going to be tricky. If you go alone, are you bringing anyone with you? Or gonna gather some?
We'll bring some of the caravan folk.
Okay. All right.
Any hunters among them, or even just regular villagers that have some experience with this. And if any of the other humans would like to go, they're more than welcome.
I would like to go.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So the two of you are gonna rally
And
up.
Bjorn.
Okay.
Mhm.
And
And
Bjorn,
the caravan.
I assume that whenever you go anywhere, Bjorn is
Yes.
going with you unless you tell me otherwise. It's very important.
Then
He-
I guess
he smells
we'll,
squirrels, he says.
Yes, there are many squirrels in
Yes.
the old woods.
We'll probably just stay with the caravan and the trinket
Yes.
and make sure no one steals any more medicine.
I trust the people with our very strong Varl.
Good plan.
Okay.
Also, Sylvie and Torvald, if you have time before you go on this party, I would love to show you what some of the medical components look like, so that if you see them whilst you are out hunting, you could maybe bring some back. Being respectful to the wood, of course.
That's a very good idea. We could
Yes.
definitely use anything that we can find in the wood.
Yes, your help is most welcome.
All right. Okay. So,
these medical supplies that were taken from us,
Yeah.
they are gone.
Yes.
Like there's
Yeah.
no way to recover those.
inelegantly robbed, right? This was somebody tore the thing off as quickly as they could during the battle,
Okay.
and made off with or accidentally ruined whatever they didn't take with them.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a mess. So, okay, so you want to try to impart to them so how do you do
Yeah.
that? Do you just describe them? Are you like the little mushrooms but not the red ones?
No, so I'd bring them over to the medicine caravan, what is left of it,
Yeah.
and take each component that we have left and say, this is this root, and this is what it looks like, this is what it feels like, this is what it smells like. It's normally found in this type of shrub, and keep an eye out for that, and do that with each ingredient that we still have that could potentially be useful.
Okay. All right. Let's have you make a knowledge roll. Make a knowledge roll with the d20 there, and tell me what you get.
A 7.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna write that down for no reason at all.
Oh, no.
You guys are totally coming back with poison ivy.
Yeah, you do a great job explaining to them
Don't
How-
eat the unidentifiable mushrooms.
how it goes. All right, so that's plants. All right, fantastic. Everything goes great. They totally understand.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. Okay, so how far ahead? Like, is the caravan gonna just sort of like stay here for a day while they?
No, we were
they
going to
go
catch
off?
up. So we were going to kind of, if the trail goes this way, we were going to go this way. And because we're a smaller detachment, I figured we could hunt along the way and then meet back up with them.
Okay, and
Because
so
you'd be faster than the
Yeah.
caravan anyway.
Yeah.
And we
Right.
can intercept any animals trying to run away from the noise.
and the idea is that you're gonna hook back around and they're gonna meet up with you. And
Yeah.
is that at the end of a day then? Like after the first
yeah,
day?
we'll meet
By
up with them
nightfall.
at nightfall.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, let's see how that goes for y'all.
Mhm.
So we'll start with you because you head off into the woods.
Okay.
So
So I'm looking for game.
Mhm.
I'm trying to spot out any tracks or leavings or anything.
okay.
Bjorn is sniffing the air.
Okay.
Trying to find a trail. I have awareness, so +1 on any related rolls. So
Okay,
I'd like
and
to try and find
you've-
some game.
You have survival as well, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
have survival.
Yeah. Roll a d20, and you can add both of those. I think this is applicable for both skills.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you add +2, and then also your knowledge.
9, 2 is 11, and then knowledge is 1, so 12.
12 total. Okay. All right. And so how are you? This is not your forte, right? Like you have like heavy armor and a shield.
Right.
How are you contributing to this effort? Are you just trying to keep up, or?
I'm trying to learn something. I also have a long spear if I can, like, maybe get a bird or a deer.
So are you just taking shots at random birds as you go through the?
Well, I
woods,
think
or-
I'm going to try and watch and observe because I think it'd be a useful skill to
Okay.
have and just be here for.
Okay. All right. So the three of you, and the like half dozen people that you take with you, you've head out into the woods, and I think that you do find a trail. You find a
Excellent.
trail of like maybe an elk.
Right.
And it seems to be a pretty big one, and you've tracked it. And I think we get that moment. We fade across to I think maybe a big fallen log, and the trees here, even early into the woods, are huge. They're enormous. Like you can't wrap your arms around them. They're very very tall. The leaves are all quite dark, and very quickly you find the place to be mottled with shadows. It's kind of hard to kind of keep track. It would be very easy to get lost in here. But you do find your way. We find the group of you kind of hunkered down over this fallen log that's slowly decomposing, and you look over and down, and you see this enormous pale brown elk grazing around some fallen trees, some vegetation, but it doesn't seem to have noticed you yet.
Okay, I call for a halt, and I would like to draw my bow, and I would like to shoot at this deer.
Okay.
Or elk, sorry.
Yeah.
I shoot at the elk.
Okay. Sure. So let's have you make a roll.
Short bow. Oh yeah, I'm rolling to see if I hit.
Yeah. So roll your agility.
17 plus 3, so 20.
Yeah. You definitely hit it.
Nice.
This thing's pretty big. Roll. What's your damage in your short bow?
My damage is 1d12. Yeah, it just says 1d12. Do we have a d12? 4.
Okay. All right. So it isn't quite enough to down the thing. So you hit it, and it lets out a noise of fear and pain. Bjorn roars and rushes out
Yes.
after it, and it runs off.
Go, Bjorn!
Are you going to run after it to
Yes,
try to keep
we
up with it?
follow.
Okay. So I'll get both of you make strength rolls.
Okay. 6, is that a 16?
Just
That's a reroll.
Re-roll it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
jammed in the corner. I know 16's a good number, but
No!
7.
7.
okay. You're gonna roll 2.
Yeah, I have no strength.
2.
Okay. All right.
Oh no.
So you very quickly get outpaced, as do the fighters with you, and Bjorn goes running off into the woods, and very quickly you lose track of him. So now you'll have to track him.
Okay. Do I need to roll for that?
No, I think you're used to following Bjorn, and he's
Yeah.
not a stealthy, like he's
Yeah.
barreling through the woods. So yeah, you see along the way, his tracks. There's the blood from the elk, and then you come. I think as it's starting to get dark, like it's starting to become time to turn back, and you have to make the decision here. Do you press on, or do you want to go back, hoping that Bjorn will bring the kill back with him?
We've been hunting this thing all day. We've got to bring down this elk. We press on.
Okay. All right. So it gets darker and darker. It's probably not as late as you think, but with the heavy canopy, the darkness is oppressive. And I think that you come around a corner to see you see Bjorn lying on his side, still, and he's not moving.
Bjorn! I run to Bjorn to see what is wrong.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you rush to his side, and you see that his front paw is caught in a trap. There is a trap made of some kind of grayish metal, It's strange. It's not like any bear trap you've seen before, and it's clamped onto his front paw, and he's lying there breathing heavily, his eyes lidded, tongue hanging out of his mouth.
Hang in there, Bjorn.
And there's blood all about.
Bjorn, I'll get you out of this. I would like to try to remove the trap.
Okay, all right. So you rush over. What do you do when you see all this happening?
My first thought is that we have to bring him back to the caravan, but we have very few medical supplies to even help a bear.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's any herbs that I can now find in the surrounding area to help like ease his pain in the immediate situation.
Okay, yeah. So there's a sense of urgency, of maybe a little bit of panic, and you try to remember the things that Isgard told you, like what to look for. You're pretty sure you remember. Why don't you make a roll?
If I kill the bear, do a 20.
Yeah, and roll with your knowledge.
Oh, don't kill the bear!
I have +1 knowledge.
Okay.
It's a 5.
Okay.
+1, 6.
All right. Yeah, you find a plant growing from around the base of a tree. It's got some sort of silvery gray leaves. You think she said something about arrowhead shaped something. This looks like this is the right thing. This is one of the good ones. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, I think I found something that might help Bjorn if you wanted.
Dorval, are you even hearing? Like,
What?
Are you even hearing her, or are you just like very?
I mean,
yeah, okay.
I'm trying to pry the
Desperate,
trap off.
All
but
right.
I'm
Okay.
like, yes, if you think it will help, obviously.
I make a strength roll. Let's see if you can. Do
11.
it.
I have
Yeah,
0
plus-
strength.
You're not strong enough.
0.
No, you're struggling.
No!
You're struggling with it. Bjorn is whining, obviously in pain, and your feeble human arms just aren't enough to pry the trap open.
Can I help him?
Yeah, you
Try
want
and
to
pry it
run
open?
over and
Yeah.
Please help.
You can see him struggling with
Yes.
this. Okay. All right. So you can try.
Okay.
But you can roll 2 d20. So grab that gold one and the green one that's in there. Roll both of those, and
Okay.
whichever is the better one, you keep that and add your strength to it.
Okay. 17 plus 2 strength.
Okay, yeah. So you managed to pry it open, the two of you. You pry it open and set it down, and Bjorn's able to get his paw free. He tries to like run away, right? Because he's hurt. He gets up and he kind of stumbles and like slops down in the grass and just kind of like holds his paw close to him.
Oh, Bjorn, what have they done to you?
How are
When
we
I
gonna
find
get
who
him
did
to
this.
the caravan?
I don't know.
Much too large to carry.
We'll
Yes,
yes.
he's enormous.
We'll need to fashion a litter or something. And we have caravan people with us.
We do. We might have to, I think, make our own small camp for the night and try and do what we can for Bjorn to be able to travel in the morning. I think, is my idea.
Oh, okay. So we'll just camp out here then. All right.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So you wanna try to set a camp?
But
Because we can't move him.
but they don't know that we're not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you set about making a camp. Now you're deep in the woods, so you have to set the rest of the hunters to kind of like chop away some of the brush to clear just enough space to light a fire.
Okay.
And it becomes eerily dark, like unusually dark, because above you, normally you'd see the moon and the stars, but with the heavy cover of the old wood, it's like sleeping in a cave. And I think that everybody is very tense as you settle in. Are you gonna give those herbs to Bjorn? You get those healing herbs you found.
I found herbs.
All
but
right.
I want to be really cautious because I'm 90% sure that they're correct herbs that Isgard described.
90% is pretty good. That's a high percentage.
Okay, well, they might be able to help Bjorn be able to heal by the morning, so we can at least travel
Well, then
back.
by all means, please.
Okay.
Give them to me. I will administer them to Bjorn.
Okay.
Okay. Here you go, buddy. These will make you feel better.
Okay.
She's 90% sure that these will make you feel better.
I don't want to kill the bear.
All right. So you feed Bjorn. I think Bjorn doesn't want him. Like he turns his head away and like snorts, and I think he like when you come up to him, if you try to press him on it, he like growls at you, like he bares his teeth and like growls angrily.
This is strange because usually Bjorn's instincts are pretty spot on these things.
We might want to trust him on it.
Are you sure it's 90%?
I remember her saying something about the coloring.
Yeah, okay, Bjorn, don't eat these. She doesn't seem certain. I don't think it was really 90% at all.
All right, so Bjorn, Bjorn's just like he's acting less like you're used to, where he's kind of your friend who happens to be a bear, and he's acting more like he keeps growling at people, and he's obviously injured and scared.
Yeah.
And anytime any of the other humans get anywhere near him, he acts like a wild animal, and they have to back away. And they're starting to give him looks like they don't feel safe around him, let alone out in the woods.
Yes. Give Bjorn a wide berth. All right, listen. He's not feeling well. Just leave him to his own devices, please. Please.
Do we still have the bear trap that he got started?
Yeah. I mean,
would like
I assume
to-
you're not like camping on it, but it's nearby.
Yeah, I'd like to make a note just to bring it with us so we can kind of like investigate who made it.
Okay.
if
Yeah,
we
I mean,
can
it's
figure it out.
it's dangerous and it's heavy, but you could. Do you want to try to like make it go off again first, or?
Yeah, I wanted to safely bring it back so we can maybe tell like who might have manufactured this.
Okay.
If we can tell
Sure.
that.
All right, yeah. So you use a stick or whatever to trigger it so it snaps shut so you can carry it around. It's very heavy. You lug it back with you.
I'm strong. I can carry
Um,
things.
Yeah. And you bring it back to your camp, and then you settle in.
Can I?
for
I
the
still
night.
have. I have a squirrel snack left. I would like to give Bjorn a
Yes.
squirrel snack
Definitely. Yeah, that's totally cool. You can
because
do
that might make him feel better.
I think he takes the food that you give him, and then he goes away. Like he doesn't want to be around anybody, and so he goes off to the edge of the firelight and kind of like slumps down somewhere far away. to,
You
like, lick
take
his
it
wound.
easy, buddy.
Yeah.
You just take it easy.
All right. So we have this scene of this little camp and the massive overgrowth all around you, and then we fade over to the three of you. Night has fallen. The caravan has not yet met up with your friends. It's definitely the point. It's past the point of like they should be back by now. What are you gonna do?
Perhaps there's some difficulty with the hunting party. Should we send someone to check up on them?
In this darkness, it might be very difficult to find them, but it does seem odd that they have not returned.
Perhaps the witch has some sort of magic she can use to navigate the darkness of the wood.
The darkness that is in these woods is unfathomable, and more than just what you can see before you. I fear for them. Who knows if they are even still there to be found?
Do you feel this whole place has some kind of magic power around it?
Most certainly.
Then I say we get out of here as fast as we can. I
Do we
trust
leave
that
them behind, though?
they'll find us. If not, we have our task at hand.
So press forward through the night.
So are you having this conversation in earshot of other members of the caravan?
No, we're having
Okay,
this.
so you've come.
This is
gone
an
off then.
aside.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
don't want the caravan to get nervous.
Totally. Yeah. Because they're already kind of wondering like, hey, I thought that they were gonna bring us food and that was gonna be a thing, and
But we
there's
still
some-
have food for tonight. We
Yeah,
still
you
have
got
food
lots,
for the
yeah.
next few days.
Is
so
there a path we're following?
Yeah, there's some hunters trails and stuff through the old wood. There's one kind of main road which you're heading to meet up with. But this is the most expedient path through, but there's no proper road to arboring or anything.
I say we keep on the path even through darkness. The faster we get out of here, the safer we are.
Yeah, so can we get like people from our caravan just maybe ahead with fire with anything like that, or with torches, or
Yeah. So
Okay.
the intention here is to basically like push on and march through the night.
well, we could push on, have some people up front with torches. I mean, it may make us a little bit more visible to whatever is in here, but we at least continue to move forward in this sense.
The most important thing is that Elfton Dredgehammer makes it to Grimholm. I have had visions of what happens if it does not get there, and it is not something I would like to impart to anyone.
Then I say we rest when we get there.
We continue on, and if anything tries to attack us, that's usual. As we Varl always do, we can take care of that. But if there's anything more mystical or magical that's happening in these woods, which we're going to look to your assistance for those types of matters.
This is a power that I alone cannot contend with, but I will advise as I can and help as I must.
Then hopefully everything will be on our side, and hopefully we will find the others.
The sooner we get out of this foul place, the better.
So I just start pointing at people like, you, grab wood, get fire, and stand ahead, move forward, and then we continue on.
I would like to take my dagger and not in the trees because I don't want to harm the wood, but somewhere in the dirt in a prominent place, if they are to trail back to where they left us, leave some kind of symbol as to which direction we're going, like maybe a large arrow or something like that.
Yeah. You'd have your own personal rune, and you'd also have the like rune of Kettleguard of your village. So yeah, you could leave either or both of those.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
I would also like to have maybe one person by me, but like a little bit, look the fire a little bit lower to the ground, and I'm kind of like surveying the ground a little bit, so if we see any footprints or tracks that they've left behind, that might help to find them.
Okay.
We can tell people to just keep an eye on the ground as well.
Yes.
So there are a few folks who are ready to jump into action to do your bidding. The ones that sort of fought alongside you in the battle.
Those guys.
who are the most excited to carry on, who are in this journey. But there's also some dissent in the caravan, right? Some grumbling. Yeah, there are some people who, and I think an older man, Thorstein. You know him from the village. He's a smith. He comes forward, and he's got his felt hat in his hands. He's got a kind of long gray beard, and he comes up and he says, Noble Varl, is it true we're to carry on through the night?
It is very true. Does this concern you in some way?
He nods, and he says, well, it's just that the woods, they're unnerving in the dark. And, well, we're tired. Wouldn't it be best to rest and wait until we have whatever sun can break through the trees before we carry on?
You contradict yourself, Smith. You say that these woods are unnerving, and yet you want to stay in them when we should be moving forward. Choose. Do you wish to stay here in the night and continue to be this unnerving presence, or do we press on to get out of here?
Well, sir, I don't mean to decide the path of the caravan. If you say press on, we'll press on, but just that, well, and you look, and there are a few others who are obviously like waiting to kind of like see like what's gonna happen. Like they're all kind of gathered around. And he says, we're just nervous is all.
Well, that is why we are here, to make sure that if anything tries to attack us, we can take care of it.
And we won't make any promises, but perhaps by the daylight, we can stop and rest. By then, we can have a close eye on our surroundings. But for now, it would be safer if we carried on.
If our party that's left us has not returned, there's clearly something wrong in these woods. We can't be around to be next. We may lose some that are out there, but if the majority of us gets out of this part alive, that'll be good.
Make an influence test.
Oh, of course. 20?
Yeah, d20 plus your influence.
Okay. All right. 11 plus 2, 13.
Okay, all right, yeah. I mean, there are some of them who only heard the, like, get out of it alive, and if someone has gone, obviously there's something bad in the woods. Like, there are people who are like, but mostly they're like, it's fine. Like, we've seen them fight before, and we have the witch and the Varl, and while they may not be the most familiar to us, fine, that's fine. And Torstein, like, bows, and he says, of course, as you say.
But if you see anything out of the ordinary, you let us know immediately.
Of course. He withdraws. And,
humans.
And you light some torches? Well, you don't, but you have people light torches for you. And,
yes,
and
stay for it.
Press on. Okay. All right. So, you travel through the night. The caravan, moving slowly. There are several times where you have to stop. And I think that in the late hours, as you expect sort of the sun to be coming up, there's still no sign of your friends. The sun rises, and there's a strange kind of horizontal light passing through the woods, the sort of dawn light, and still no sign of them.
Well, if there's an opportunity for a fight, if I go off to look for our hunting party, then perhaps maybe I should go with a couple of good men and track them down while you carry on.
Do you feel up for another fight after our last battle?
I'm always up for a fight, my friend.
True, but I just wanted to make sure because I was very concerned for you last time.
I appreciate that. I have rested enough, and now I hunger for blood.
Adric, you should be careful. You are incredibly powerful, but make sure to keep that power harnessed. There is a greater purpose for you.
Yes, I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
Well, I trust you. Bring our party back.
All right.
I'll do my best.
So you're just gonna set off alone through the
I
woods?
think I should bring some people who want to fight, who can fight, who have some fight in them with me.
Okay. All right.
Maybe like a small group of 4, maybe.
the caravan's warriors just peeling off a little at a time, disappearing into the woods. Sure. Yeah, there are a few who'll volunteer to prove their stout of heart. They're not afraid of this haunted place. So yeah, you gather them about you and you head off. Now I assume, unlike your companions, you're not trying to be like particularly stealthy.
Not necessarily. I just want to carry on. So I think it's the quickest that I can get to find out wherever the hell they are would be best for my motivations, I think.
Okay. All right. Let's have you make a roll. Let's see how this goes for you. I think this is gonna be a knowledge roll.
That's a 6 with a 0 added to it, so it's just a 6.
All right. So we see you traipse off into the woods, and we'll cut back to these fine folks. So you wake up the next day, and the sun comes up and is casting this golden light through the woods. Bjorn is still sleeping. He's sleeping off his injury, but you and the men wake up, and it looks like for them it's been a restless sleep. Lots of tossing and turning. One of the men is complaining about nightmares. What do you do?
Well, seems the hunt has failed. If Bjorn is well enough to move, I say we start heading back to the caravan.
Okay. Then how do you do that? Given that, do you go back to wherever you were supposed to meet them in the first place?
Yeah, we were looping around. So if the trail was going this way, we're going this way.
Okay, so you want to hook back to the trail?
Yes.
All right.
So I attempt to wake Bjorn.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
We gotta kind of roll out, buddy.
He wakes, and he seems like he's doing okay. He's limping a little bit, but he's much more himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he
You had me worried there, little buddy.
he grumpily like headbutts you when you try to wake him up, and he rolls over and refuses to get up, and you start to be like, you maybe get a little worried, but then he wakes up, and he follows you back into the woods to meet with your friends.
Yeah.
So you're gonna bring the strange gray trap with you?
Yeah, I feel like if anything, it also could become an asset if we need it for anything later.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, it's much the shape you would expect from a trap, a bear trap. So it's but holding it, it feels like a strange kind of like matte metal. It feels more like stone than metal. But if you rap on it with your knuckles, it has some sort of ringing quality to it. It seems like it's a simple mechanism. I mean, you're not a tinker or a craftsman, but it doesn't seem that complicated. But you can see that there are stains of blood, not just Bjorn's blood, but old blood on the teeth of this thing.
Yeah, my hope is to bring it back, and maybe someone in our party might be able to identify where it was forged, what village might have done it, because something about it might identify with that village and their ways of forging things.
Okay. Yeah. You know that it's unusual, but you can't place why.
And now we know like there's other people potentially still in the forest with us.
All right. So as you and your group head out, we linger in the scene a moment, and there's the campfire with a wisp of smoke, and you disappear. We can hear your voices kind of going quiet as you settle in. Now, are you trying to go stealthily, or is it just like make your way back as quick as you can?
I think we're keeping an eye out for any game or berries or anything we can pull, but we're not going so stealthily that we have to move slower.
Yeah,
we're moving at a good clip.
Just watching for more traps.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, all right. So then we hear you. We can hear your voices, and you just get more distant. You don't try to hide. And there's like the crackling of branches and what have you. And as we linger on the scene. We can see in the underbrush behind you, in the sort of glowing light, several sets of yellow eyes watching after you. And then the scene fades. Adric, you are hopelessly lost. Just immediately, you're like, tally ho, my friends. You go out in the woods, and like it's been maybe an hour, and you have no idea where anything is. Okay. You are lost beyond recompense. What are you gonna do?
Do any of my men have any tracking abilities at all?
No, these are just like hotheads that followed you because they thought they were going to get in a fight.
Okay. I think that we press on in the hopes that the daylight will appear at some point so that we can see any kind of discernible marks, or perhaps we'll just happen upon some sort of noise or ruckus, or I mean, obviously if there's a camp of quite a few of a hunting party, we'll hear them in some capacity at some point.
Yeah. So you're just going to pick a
Just
random
press on,
direction.
yeah. Just keep on going.
Assuming, pretending you aren't lost.
Yeah, I think from what little we knew of the maneuver that they were taking initially, we're kind of following that kind of like heading, I guess.
Okay.
We're hoping to cut them off maybe where they were in that kind of movement.
Yeah, you have no idea what direction that would be.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's
All right.
just, you know that there's trees this way, and there's trees over there. You came from an area that was rife with trees, and if you go in any direction, you'll find trees.
Okay, so yeah, I guess we're just pressing on in the direction we were initially heading, and we're just like keeping our wits about us as much as we can.
Okay, all right. So
Hoping for light of some kind.
Yeah, you just head off into the woods.
Yeah, into the darkness.
Yeah. And I think that the deeper you go, the more the sense of finally the men that are with you realize, like, oh, wait a second, we're lost. There's nothing. One of them, they don't talk to you directly. They grumble loudly to each other, and one of them is like, I don't think he knows where we're going. And the other one's like, oh, don't be foolish. Of course he does. And then slowly that voice gets quieter and quieter until they're all just kind of like, this is pointless. What are we doing? Do you know the way back?
No, I don't. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't know where I'm going. But, we're not trackers. We're warriors. So basically we're just going to go find out if our friends are in trouble or not. So we just press on.
One of the fighters says to you, well, how would we know if they were in trouble? We don't know where they are. It's nothing but blasted trees in every direction.
Well, we can hope for the daylight at some point. I mean, obviously, we'll see some light at some point.
There's a woman, an archer in your group, and she says, and when there's light, we'll be able to see the trees all the better.
Well, perhaps we can also use our ears and listen for any faint voices or yells or cries for help, perhaps.
Everyone goes quiet.
Anybody have any better ideas?
They're listening. They're doing what you said. So they fall quiet when you say that. You can hear the sounds of the wood, right? You can hear birds chirping in the distance, and the sounds of leaves rustling. And then you start to hear another sound, a kind of low humming noise. And it's very faint, but very persistent, this kind of humming sound.
Let's investigate. Something to kill, perhaps?
Yeah, you want to go check it out?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Okay, all right. So you head in the direction of the humming noise.
It's at least something to follow, I guess.
Yeah, right. It's anything. It's better than walking around in circles. Okay.
Sure.
So there's some suspicious looks among your friends, but they agree. They're like, it's better than nothing, and they head off with you. Okay. So meanwhile, back at the caravan, have you stopped? Are you gonna eat? Are you gonna rest? Are you gonna let the caravan rest?
It's daylight now.
It is, yeah. I mean, as much daylight as you get in a place like this.
I guess they were strong enough to press to the night. I guess we can take a small break while they feed, and we can survey what's around us.
And that is smart for the good of the caravan. They need their wits about them, especially in this wood.
Yes.
Are you concerned at all about our brethren that have gone into the wood?
Very much so. As much as us Varl warriors are indeed good in battle and combat, searching and tracking is not necessarily our best suit, but I hope for the best.
It may not be physical combat that they find.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying there are things out there that they may have not encountered until this point in their lives. There could be mental challenges, emotional challenges, all manner of things that are not a simple strength test.
Edric's gonna find a cave and he's got to fight himself in there. And it's a whole thing. Tiny green man.
For nobodies. They sold you off for drinking money. Well, you seem to know have a lot of knowledge about what we could possibly be dealing with here.
I just like to study the things that most people find unusual, and the wood is one of those things.
How do we get out of all of this? That's what's most important.
As far as I know, we continue along this path, be respectful to the wood as we go through it, and move on and hope that it lets us pass unscathed.
And do you have any, I don't know, witch power to see where the rest of our party is?
I have had no visions of that kind, but I am looking.
Yeah, you notice the caravan, once you've kind of settled in and decided to rest a moment, many of them are still bearing those talismans that they bought or traded your supplies for earlier. Some of them are praying. You see a group of them sort of gathered around a stone, and one of them is leading the others in a prayer.
They are trying to be respectful. This is good. However, I'm not in charge here, nor do I claim to be. But I don't think we should let any other of our warriors leave the caravan.
Indeed. And what do you make of these trinkets that some of these people have? Do you think they hold any kind of power that they claim to possess?
If they can harness the belief and the intention of the caravan to be respectful to the powers that control these woods, then it matters not if the trinkets themselves hold any power.
I would like to... Is there a way to just sort of survey the area that we are in currently, since we're kind of rested, just to kind of see what's around us right now?
Sure. Yeah. Make a knowledge roll.
Okay. I have no knowledge, but...
That's all right. You can try.
5.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's claustrophobic for you, right? You're quite big, and these are human-sized trails, so you're getting your horns caught in the trees, having to duck all the time. The caravan is all kind of stretched thin. Like, you look back and you can't see the end of it because you can only go as wide as one wagon, maybe 2 or 3 humans. There are thick foliage on either side. It's clear that this path, while the quickest route through the woods, is still pretty fraught.
I would like to see one of these trinkets that the caravan has bought. Can I do that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you walk over and there's a woman, and she's holding her child. She's got a kid in her arms, and she's leading a prayer with these other people that are around.
You.
And she stops, and the rest, everybody kind of like looks up at you.
This item that you have, that you traded food for, I need to survey it.
And she nods and she says, of course. She comes forward and hands you just a carved, like a flat, smooth stone, like the kind you'd find like in a riverbed.
Okay.
It's carved with a symbol of a sort of human figure holding a spear. You recognize it. Everyone does. It's a common depiction of Hridvaldr, who's the god of hunters, wild beasts in the forest.
Okay. I would like to bring this back to Isgard.
Okay. Yeah. And she looks after you like, hey, you're gonna bring that back, right?
Yeah. Oh. Keep praying. You will soon learn that sometimes the faith that you need comes from inside and not from items outside.
And they'll kind of look at you, and there's some muttering of like, the Varl don't understand the gods. Why would they? And they go back, but they go back to praying, kind of dismissively.
I hope that you are mumbling about your future and not about me.
Yeah, there's no risk. They're just like, okay,
All right.
you've got them cowed, but they don't. They're mad that you took her trinket.
Silly humans.
Yes.
So I take this back to Isgard to survey it, because I don't know if we've ever like had a full viewing of these items.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, Isgard, you recognize it as a sigil of Hridvaldr, a good luck charm. Nothing more.
This is a simple luck charm. It has its power from their beliefs.
So it's worthless, basically.
Depends on your definition of worth.
Well, I would personally like to have food right now other than this item, but if it makes them have a positive stand so they can continue moving on, then I guess it does its purpose. I just do not understand this.
That is all right.
So then I walk back to the people and I'm like,
here's your religion back.
yeah,
Okay.
there's your religion. Continue your prayers.
Okay. All
But-
right.
I hope you still will have the energy all to press on. You know, I still have to be like, you won this round, but
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. They promised to pray for you.
thank you.
Okay. So Torvald and Sylvie. So you're making your way through the woods, and you've been going a while. It's going to take some time with poor Bjorn limping along. It's going to take some time to get back to the trail, and I think at some point. They're all a little bit tired. Everybody is too kind of fatigued to be making small talk anymore. You know, before it was like, talking about like, oh, what are you going to do when we get to Grinholm? Or like, oh, have you seen the Great Hall before? But now it's just kind of the quiet trudging through the woods. And someone stops suddenly. They just stop, and the person behind them bumps into them, and everybody kind of like turns around to see what's going on. And one of these men, he's a young man. He's maybe like 18 or 19. And he's just stopped, and he's just like staring at out at nothing.
You boy, what are you looking at?
He doesn't say anything. He's like he's squinting a little bit, and like he's concentrating really hard on something.
Hey, snap out of it! Snap out of it! Hey!
And he shakes his head, and he looks at you, and he says, "Don't you hear it?
No, I don't hear anything. What do you hear?
Listen." And there's quiet, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's going on there?" They quiet down, and slowly you begin to hear it, as though it's sort of the sound is rising from the woods around you. You hear first one, then another, and then a whole chorus of quiet voices singing in a language you don't understand. And at once, the air seems full of a sort of ethereal light. There are little motes of dust hanging on sunbeams, and you can hear this sound.
I think that's a bad sign.
Yes, this seems ominous.
I think we should travel away from the singing.
Yes, let's do that.
And it's everywhere, though. Like, you hear it all around you. And the boy, Stig, he just starts walking off in a random direction. One of his cousins is like, "Hey, Stig, where are you?" And the kid just like starts walking off.
Well, I think we can all agree that Stig's dead. All right, perhaps we should go after him.
I think that what we need to do is kind of focus on ignoring the music that we're hearing. I think it's putting him in a trance.
Well, should we go grab him
We
and
should
bring
grab
him back?
him, and then
Yes.
everyone plug your ears.
Forcibly. Yes, that's
Yeah.
good advice. Yes, everyone stick something in your ears so you don't become entranced as well.
So by now it's you've come to this conclusion, but it's too late. They're all sort of like wandering off after Stig in this direction.
But we're not in a trance.
Not yet. You're not, as far as you know. You could be in a trance and not know it.
Don't
but
give the GM any idea.
Okay.
All right, I suggest we plug our ears and follow them.
Okay, let's try and take control of the situation before we become a part of the problem.
Okay? Bye.
Well, let's plug our ears and follow where they're going. At
Yes.
least we
So-
still have like our wits about
the
us.
two
Good
of you,
idea.
The two of you are talking, and Bjorn shoves his way between the two of you and starts like loping off towards the sound.
All right, I follow Bjorn with wadded up cloth in my ears.
Okay, so
Like
you're like,
a couple
"Here."
twigs.
Yeah.
That's about. Don't put twigs in your ears. It's not. You'll die. Don't do that. You need to be able to hear later. Okay, so you like jam some cloth in your ear and you follow, because even Bjorn is moving, though like slowly because he's limping. Even though he's moving as if in a dream. And and so you follow them as they sort of stagger. And these men and women, they're moving with a sole purpose of sort of staggering forward. They have this kind of blank smile on their face, glassy eyes. They're getting their clothes like caught on trees, but they don't care. One of them drops his sword just aside and doesn't seem to notice that it's fallen from his grip. And they're just moving through the woods towards some mysterious place. So the two of you just want to like follow along carefully?
Yes, we follow cautiously.
Yeah, we don't want to leave them to their own doom.
Sure. Yeah, that's good of you. That's kind. Okay. All right. So you follow, and as you do, the singing becomes louder and louder, and you can make out a dozen or so human voices, all singing in harmony. The song's quite, despite the twigs jammed in your ears, the song is quite beautiful. But you're able to keep your head about you, at least for the time being, as you draw closer to its source. So before you realize what it is, I'm gonna cut back to Adric. So Adric, this strange humming that you're headed towards, I think when you arrive at its source, when you reveal what it is, when you see, you come into a clearing in the woods, and you see a sword. It's sticking up out of the grass. It looks old. It's got some like moss growing on it. It's made of a strange metal that doesn't reflect light. It's sort of a matte color, gray. It's sort of like a two-pronged sword with a big long handle. There's no way this is a sword for humans. It's much. You could wield it two-handed, but it's much too large to be a sword for men. And it's just sitting out in this clearing, sticking up out of what looks like a pile of stones, maybe. And it seems to be the source of the sound.
Okay. Well, I'd like to go closer to it and inspect it.
Okay. All right. So you come closer. The people that are with you, they stop at the edge of the clearing, and they're too nervous to go with you.
Right.
Like they hang back. Like, well, this is a bad. And I think one of them says something to you. He's like, "This is a bad omen, Adric. We should turn back."
What do you know of omens, human?
I'd rather be lost. I've got a bad feeling. I don't know about this.
Maybe this will help us find our companions in some way.
I don't know.
Perhaps the humming sound could draw them to us.
It's not them I'm worried about. Who knows what this thing is a beacon for?
Perhaps it calls to us. For aid.
I don't know what it wants, but what's your life, Varl? Go look if you wish. I'll be staying back here. And the rest of them nod, like, yeah, and some of them have drawn weapons and are looking around, like, waiting for something to happen. They're all very tense.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to get a closer look at it.
Okay, all right. So you walk up, and as you get closer, you can see signs that this is the site of a battle, maybe. There are bits of, first you see some rusted bits of ring mail. You spot a grown over with moss, a human skull. There are some other larger bones you don't recognize, and then in the center, what look like scattered pieces of maybe like a statue or of stone. You see a stone hand lying in the grass, and as you reach the center, yeah, you see this enormous sword, and it's definitely like humming, like a tuning fork that's been struck. It's giving off this faint hum, and it's wrapped with a yellow cloth. With a piece sort of fluttering in the breeze, and it looks like it's been thrust into the ground or dropped here.
Is it possibly a Varl weapon?
It's certainly not of any construction you've ever seen. You're a warrior familiar with the arms of your people and of the humans, but yeah, it definitely doesn't look like it's of Varl construction.
Yeah, I think I'd like to try to wield it. What happens if I place my hands upon it?
Okay. Make a knowledge roll first.
D20?
Yep. Yeah, add your knowledge.
That's a 3.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think you recognize what's going on before you touch it. But you put your hand on it, and it stops vibrating. It goes quiet. And the quiet is almost more eerie than the sound, right? Like suddenly it's totally silent here. There's no animal sounds, nothing. You just grasp the sword, and it's stopped. It stopped vibrating, and now there's just this like eerie quiet in the glade.
So can I I'd like to attempt to remove it from wherever it's stuck.
Yeah, it's stuck in, and you kind of like pull it up out of the earth, and yeah, it's got some crumbling bits of dirt that fall from it, and you hold it in your hand. It's heavy and enormous. and it looks well used. The edges are chipped, and it has no runes, no markings to show it's smith. In fact, the material it's made of seems more like stone than like steel.
So it's possible that it's not even a weapon?
I mean, it's shaped like a sword, but it's got a sort of blunted tip. The blade, you'd have to wield it with intense strength to be able to cut anything with it.
So maybe I'll wrap it in something and kind of just like stick it into my whatever I hold my other sword in. Maybe I can kind of like fasten it to that some way with like some rope or something.
Yeah. Tie it alongside your other sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it with me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So as you approach your group, they're all looking at you and they back away from you like you're contagious.
Right.
They're not shunning you or anything, but as you return to the wood, the sounds of the wood sort of return, and they look at you like nervously, but you've done a braver thing than they were capable of.
Okay, sure. Does it look like there's anything wrong with me, warriors?
And they look at each other and they're like, no one's willing to jump forward and say anything.
Okay. Well, then let's carry on through this wood to see if we can find our friends.
And they nod nervously and follow you at a bit of a greater distance than they did before.
Okay.
And in the same way, as we see you leave out into the woods, we can see that the grove the glade has been watched by those same strange yellow eyes, kind of following you. So, meanwhile, you find the source of this scene. So you come over a hillock to follow your friends, and you can see them walking down towards a pool. There's a pool of still water, and in it you can see a group of about a half dozen people. They're in the water. They are naked, and they are singing in a circle in this pond. It comes up to their waist, and as your friends move down this hill, they are shedding cloak and tunic and trousers as they walk down towards the water.
I think that we should stop them from getting in the water at all costs.
Well, some of them do smell pretty bad.
True, but I don't trust these people that are in the water chanting in a circle. That's normally a bad sign.
All right, yes. Let's try and pull them physically away from the water. Okay,
so you're gonna run over and grab somebody and try to pull on them?
I kind of want to intercept them and get in front of them so they can't pass me to get in the water, but I'm kind of compelled to grab the herbs that I collected that were going to be for Bjorn, because something in me feels like I remembered this herb for a reason from what Isgard was telling me, and something compels me to want to light it like sage to try and break their trance.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So you're gonna start doing that as they walk down. Okay, you're gonna try to slow them because you're focused on that task. What do you want to try to slow them down?
Yeah, I'm trying to get in their way and body block them.
Okay, all right. So the first one that you get in front of just kind of bumps into you, mindlessly tries to push you out of the way, making kind of annoyed sounds. Make a strength roll. Let's see.
Okay. 10.
Okay, all right. So you're able to hold this person back, but then another one gets past you. And then Bjorn comes up and pushes you out of the way with his nose. He just shoves you aside, and he limps down towards the water. He's trying to get you to stop doing what you're doing.
Bjorn, where are you going, buddy? Where are you going, Bjorn?
He turns and bares his teeth and growls at you.
Hey, not cool, Bjorn. Stop that, Bjorn.
You see a flash of purple light in his eyes. And he snarls at you, and then he turns back away and starts walking down.
He's never done that before, Sylvie. I don't know what that was about.
He might be the one we want to try and break the trance of first.
If that's
possible.
Sure. So you've got this bundle of maybe sage or something, and you're trying to light it on fire. Okay. Let's make a roll. Let's have a knowledge roll to see if you can figure out how to make this into a smoky bundle you can use.
5 + 1.
Okay, all right. So it's not the light won't catch, and it's just it's too wet, and and your hands are shaking because you're kind of in over your head. What do you want to do?
Okay. Does anyone by any chance have a torch lit already?
They certainly don't. No.
Okay.
No. They're all like naked now and like approaching the edge of the water. And the singers who are in the water have come to the edge of the pool. And the first ones that reach it are they're placing like garlands of water lilies around their necks and like welcoming them and bringing them into the pool. You see a woman like petting Bjorn, and Bjorn's like just totally out of it. He's acting all like strange.
Yeah, something's very wrong here.
Yeah, I don't know if we should approach them since they can't put us in their trance. I don't know if it would be worth trying to communicate with them.
Should we hang back and just observe?
I'm afraid if they take too many of our people, we might not be able to get them back. I do have intimidation. I can...
Oh yeah, would you like to try and tell them to let our people go?
I want to try and communicate with them friendly first.
I've got your back. I'll go up with them,
Okay,
yes.
maybe there's some kind of reasoning we can do.
Okay.
If only I wasn't so stumbly with my fingers to light the stupid thing.
Yeah. So you want to run down and like try to like get down closer and try to talk to them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you rush to the edge, and everyone is in the water now, and some of your companions are being like bathed with pool water from an urn, and they're kind of bringing them into their like circle.
I just try and shout to get their attention, like, "Hello, these are our people. May we come in peace."
They don't seem to even know that you're there. They're all smiling and like, embracing their new friends.
Okay. It seems to me the only option is to try our very best to break the trance, because we might have to fight them. And we'll want as many... How many of our people are not in this trance? How many stuffed their ears?
Exactly 2. So you and this one.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Is there anything else that we notice other than this pool and these people? There's no like fire or anything? No.
No.
All right.
I don't want to get too hands-on because they're naked now.
That's fair. Yeah.
My best shot was lighting these herbs.
Yeah.
You just
Would
kinda
you
like-
like to try that?
Nervously
No.
standing at the edge, being like, "Ugh, but they're all naked. I could grab them. I don't want to wrestle the naked people. I don't.
All right.
They're all the way in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
all
in a
right.
predicament
Yeah.
now.
All right. I'll draw my bow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll point it at one of the people that was in the water originally, not one of our people.
Yeah.
One of the
Okay.
naked people that was there.
Yeah.
I'll be like, enough games. Release our people from this trance, or I'll shoot you with my bow.
They don't seem to respond. No one
I
notices.
fire a warning shot over their head.
Okay. So you draw back your bow,
Uh-huh.
and when you let it go, the arrow leaps from the bow, turns into a bird, and flies away.
That also has never happened before. That is
Yeah.
also a first.
There's a twinkling of light, and then suddenly your arrow is a bird, and it twitters and flies away.
Right.
We're definitely under some sort of spell. I
Well,
wish
we aren't. They are.
We aren't, although anything around them seems to be
Yes.
affected. And we don't have Isgard, which is a problem.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we should get Isgard. We know nothing of magic.
Do we leave them? Can we...
I mean, they're just taking a bath right now.
I don't know what the likelihood of us finding Isgard is the only problem, but I don't have any other...
Surely they came looking for us. I mean, they would not simply press on through the night. We're their friends. They would have immediately sent out a party. They're probably on their way to us right now.
Okay, I have one thing I want to attempt maybe before we leave our people with these others.
They're new friends.
Yeah. Are any of the naked people, by any chance, wearing any of these, like those little
The naked people are wearing
stones?
nothing.
Nothing. So,
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
any of them have? Did they take it off?
Many of them have they have tattoos like on their faces, on their backs, and on their shoulders, sort of in curling lines and patterns. But none of them are wearing anything.
But none
because
of them
they're
had
naked,
like
yeah.
those trinkets.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay. I thought maybe they might have helped.
no, not so much.
So,
I mean, the people
Okay.
that have the trinkets are being helped by it. It's just these are not those
They
people.
should have
Yeah.
had the trinkets.
Yeah.
Who needs food? Okay. I think Isgard might be the only one.
Isgard. Yeah, let's go do that.
Okay, so you decide, okay, we need to get our witch. We turn around, and you see a woman standing there. She just is right there, like right behind you when you turn around. She's quite tall. She's wearing long, like tattered green robes. They hang in her robes hang in strips, kind of like seaweed almost. She's barefoot. She has long black hair, long curly black hair, and she's holding a staff, a white wooden staff. And you turn around and you see her, and she's smiling, but not in a like, I'm happy to see you way, but in a sort of predatory way. There's a self-assured smile on her face. And when you turn around and see her, that's when we cut back to this group. So what are the two of you doing now?
So
what is the plan?
I think we just wrapped up the break in the food. And I guess we are continuing to press on, but I'm getting a little more nervous that the rest of our party is out there. We have heard nothing and seen nothing.
Yeah, maybe one of the two of you should go look for them.
No.
Split more people up.
No. I can continue to leave as many markings as possible so that should any of our party return alive to try to find us, they may know which direction we went, but I am losing hope at this point.
I'm just going to resort to yelling out loud. Like just yelling everyone's
Screaming.
names. Yes, to see if there's any opportunity, any possibility that any of them can hear us.
All right, you take a deep breath and you shout one of the names of your companions.
Adric!
And we get the shot of the exterior of the forest and birds like flying.
Adric!
Yeah, startled. But the neither the forest nor your friend respond.
All right.
Are there any Varl traditions or way of communicating that you might be able to leave for Adric to find you at a later time?
Yeah, you got that Varl GPS. You can flip on there.
I can't get any bars in this wood.
Is it like a horn or something?
Yeah.
You'd think he'd have a strong scent.
Yeah, I mean, there is that Varl musk they got going on. I mean, there isn't really like, Varl are solitary creatures. Like you're not often found in groups anyway.
Yes.
So, yeah.
No, there's no way that we can communicate from a distance. We Varl are usually not even together as much as Adric and I are. It's just since there's so few of us now, we have chosen to group together more. It is just the way. Adric will return with us, or he will continue on his own with the people that he took with him.
Do you think it wise to remain here for a specific length of time to see if anyone returns before we press on, or should we simply press on?
You say that sword needs to get to its destination.
It must.
Then as much as I care for the people that are out there, it is only right for it to continue. But should possibly go at a slower pace, just in case we can see anything that could possibly be a clue to where they could be now.
As we are taking the entire caravan with us, we will naturally be moving more slowly than they would be moving in their smaller parties, and hopefully that will give them an advantage to catch up to us if they are still in good health.
Then that's all that we can hope in this matter.
Then it is decided.
But everything is still, nothing's stolen or changed or anything.
No,
Everything's still the same.
Things seem, you and the main group of the caravan seems to be protected from the strange business that's been affecting the others. So
this is unusual. I'm more used to battle and things right in my face. This whole mystical realm that we seem to be in does not communicate with me well.
All the better to get through it quickly.
And I look at that circle, just like, you pray more. We're gonna need it.
all right. So you gather the caravan, and the plan is to just carry on and hope that your friends will return.
We're gonna keep going, but I'm just gonna keep yelling like,
Yeah.
Sylvie!
Yeah.
Torvald!
Yeah. And so you're
Bjorn!
And I'm going to...
a random bear looks up like, that's me. I'm a bear. No.
Wrong bear.
That's what happens.
Silly old bear.
But you can eat that bear.
But yes, can I hit that bear?
No,
Oh,
no,
fine.
that bear is just a background element and then disappears. That bear is just there for a goof.
Non-playable bears.
Yeah, uninteractable.
NPBs.
Oh, NBBs.
So
I'm gonna try to take like scrap pieces of material and anything we have from the caravan that would obviously be from a caravan, not something naturally occurring in the wood, and tie it around branches and continue
you're
to
leaving
leave
like a
markings
really
in the dirt,
clear like.
so they know that we have moved on
Yeah.
if they get anywhere back to the path.
Yeah, so with some consternation, you press on, and the rest of the caravan is starting to think like maybe they're gone. Like, don't leave the path, or we get swallowed by the woods. Like, Sylvie, maybe there's like we see like a little girl who's like crying to her mother about how Sylvie is lost in the woods, and she like really looked up to her, and now our hero's dead because the woods swallowed her, and everybody's just nervous about. No one even wants to set foot off the trail, so they're all walking real slow and careful like.
I'm gonna try to be like cordial, which is not usually. So I go. I see this girl crying.
Yeah, and her father is like, "Hush now, girl, quiet."
What is wrong with the small one?
And he looks up. Nothing. She's fine. Just a child.
Everyone is important in this caravan. So if one cries, I just want to know why.
And he shakes his head and he says, "She's being." And this is directed at her, but like answering you, he says to her like, "She's being silly. She thinks that the ones that went off to look for food, they're gone forever. That this place is haunted. It's foolishness."
So then I like take my big Varl, like.
Yeah, you kneel down, so now you're just slightly taller than a human.
First I look at him and it's like, you do not call your child silly. And I looked at her, you are not silly. You are strong. Many to the child, yes, you. Many adults have gone through these woods and not been able to make it, and you have. You are a survivor. Remember that. Do I do?
Yeah, you can roll. Let's roll to see if you impress this little girl.
6.
Okay. So she starts crying anew and hides behind her father, and he says, "Leave the parenting to those of us who can have children, Varl."
Ooh. Low blow.
So I just give that like.
Can you like raise?
Yeah, but then I just turn away.
Yeah.
Just, I really hope that Sylvie returns. I'm not good at this
Right.
comforting thing.
Yeah, when you say that, you're like, I hope they come back soon. We fade over to Adric.
Good.
Was there something else you
I
wanted
had
to
one
say?
more question.
Okay, yeah.
The sound that they are hearing. So that has not. We
No.
can't hear any of that yet.
No, you haven't heard any of that stuff.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'll
just
let you
wanna
know
be sure.
if that happens.
Okay.
So you and your band of nervous warriors are following. They're following you at a pace, and you're still lost. You still have no idea where you're going. You're just walking. It's the middle of the day. You're tired. You don't have any food on you, and you hear a loud crack of like wood breaking, and everybody turns at once towards the sound.
Okay. Perhaps this is a battle, men. Let's head towards the sound.
They're feeling less excited about getting in a fight now than when they were when they like headed out with you earlier. But like they're like, oh, okay, and they start to follow you, and I think that you press through the woods. And are you moving quietly? Do you want to try to get a drop on?
Yeah, I think
whatever's
we're gonna
making this
move
noise?
quietly. Yeah.
All right.
We'll attempt to, even as
Sure.
a Varl can.
Yeah. Okay, so make an agility roll for me there.
That's a
Nice.
20,
You are
yeah.
incredibly stealthy.
Nice.
All right.
Maybe it's the sword.
Yeah. So you're born with it. So you sneak through the underbrush. Somehow you don't break anything. You're quiet. Everyone stays quiet as well, holding their breaths almost from fear. And you come to an area where the trees sort of thin out a little bit, and ahead of you see a stump just sticking up out of the ground. It's one of these big trees, but it's been hewed off at the bottom, and there are weapons all over the ground around this stump. Spears sticking up, swords sticking out of the ground, arrows, just all discarded in a ring around this stump. And on the stump, you see, she's got her back to you, you see a woman wearing a long, tattered green, long tattered robes. She's got long black hair, and she is humming quietly to herself and, brushing her hair.
Who goes there?
And she looks up and she stops. And she turns and looks at you, and for a second you see a flicker of purple light in her eyes. You maybe don't notice this as much as the humans do, but she's like ethereally beautiful. Like they immediately like look at her like, whoa, this is probably the most attractive human. But you don't. They all look the same to you. You can't
Right.
tell. She doesn't have a beard or horns, so like you don't know how to judge these things. She's all small. Probably like gender is a confusing thing to you. You're like, I think this is one of the lady ones, but I can't. Again,
Because sometimes the men have long hair too.
You've just got the one to worry about, but these humans, it's a broad and beautiful spectrum. But you don't have to worry about that. So you see her, and she turns, she smiles, and she says, "Do you know what it is that you carry?"
I carry a weapon to protect myself.
One, yours, and another that belongs to the woods.
I saw no name on it.
You wouldn't know the name of the one that carried it, but it is not yours, Varl. Who are you? You and your friends that traipse through these woods, making so much noise.
I might ask the same thing.
She smiles. She says, I am just a priestess.
A conjurer of tricks?
No. No tricks.
My name is Adric. I am a warrior. I'm here to find my friends, who for some time have been lost in this wood. Perhaps you've seen them. One had a bear companion.
And she smiles and she says, it's not safe to talk about these things here. Why don't you come back with me to my home? We can talk there. Half of your human friends are like, no, don't do it. And the other half are like, yeah, do it. Let's go to her house.
What is the difference between your home and here, out in the open?
There are things listening here. I can shield us from them.
And why should I trust you?
I don't see that you have much choice. You could continue to wander in circles if you wish. Eventually, starvation would find you.
Fine. We'll follow you.
And like you don't see her stand up, but she's standing now. Like you were looking at her the whole time, and you were sure she was sitting a second ago, but now she's standing up. And she turns and she steps through the kind of ring of blades that are around this stump, and heads out, seemingly just into the woods. And eagerly, some of your companions follow. And you go with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
We follow.
Yeah. So meanwhile, back at the poolside, you've turned around and there's this woman, and she's kind of like smiling at you, like she's caught you with your hand in the cookie jar, so to speak. Do you say anything, or do you let her speak?
We'll let her speak.
Yeah. Okay. So you're just like quiet. Okay. She says, why don't you join your friends in the pool?
Oh, I already bathed this week, so I'm not really interested in that. Say, why don't you ask my friends to come out of the pool?
She shakes her head and she says, it seems to me that they have made their choice.
It seems to me that there was no choice.
Is that not the way of things?
No, I think that they've been influenced. Maybe you know something about this.
You're impertinent. Are you implying something?
Yes, I'm implying that you've entranced my friends.
She says, I don't know anything about that. And you can see she's getting a little angry to these accusations. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Is this like a creature that I'd be able to identify that's like a siren or something if I knew?
As far as you can tell, she's a person.
Okay. I kind of want to intimidate her for more information. Maybe kind of get her
So what do
riled
you
up.
say?
You know, we aren't from these woods, but it seems that the ones who aren't so courteous to those who come visit. We have been kind to the woods. We came here in peace just to pass through. What is your gripe with my people?
She shakes her head and she says, I have no gripe with your people.
You're stealing innocent men and women into your lore here.
We sing the song of Astale. If your friends heard it, in their heart, they came of their own free will.
Then why of their free will can they not leave?
Have you asked them to?
Yes.
Do they seem as they wish to?
We can't seem to get control of them. What would you know about that?
You would control them. No, there is no controlling the hearts of men. Only gods can do that.
I don't need to control the hearts of men. These men were following me by their choice before you came along.
And she gestures to one of the naked men. He's a man named Tofi that you know, and he just walks up when she's like, "Come here," and he walks up, and he looks at you, and he's kind of like glassy eyed, and she says, "Tofi, my darling," and she like brushes his cheek with the back of her hand. "You don't want to go anywhere, do you?" And he shakes his head, and he says, "No, Brynhildr, I don't." And she looks at you like, see?
And what if you were to stop the singing and ask him then?
She says, I'm speaking with you, not singing. They are, and I don't control them.
Right, well then clearly this is all a misunderstanding. We'll just be going.
And she shakes her head and she says, but you haven't allowed me to invite you home. It's getting late, and you won't reach your friends by nightfall. Please, I have food and tea. My home is just that way.
And what of our friends? What will become of them?
She shrugs. They are free to do as they please. And we cut down to the pool, and there's like, they're all just kind of like holding hands and singing.
Naked.
Nakedly. Yeah. Yeah, the pool is deep enough to keep it PG, though, so.
Right.
Except the dude who came out.
We only shot him from the ribs up, so it's...
And it's like
fine.
Austin Powers, where it's like you kind of see like someone's shoulders in the way or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. If you get the full body shot, her staff is
bush.
standing.
Branch right there.
Yeah, that's fine.
well placed branch.
Yeah, breeze blowing her robes in front of him.
Bjorn is in front of him.
Yeah.
Can I kind of like sidebar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We should definitely not trust her.
No, but what else can we do? I mean, I could shoot her with a bird, but I don't think that'll do much.
It's true. Your bow, you could shoot a turkey at her or something.
I wonder if we simply turn down her invitation to her home, take our chances in the woods, maybe then we can find the others.
Sure, let's try that.
Okay. We will politely decline the invitation to your home. We'll take our chances out in the woods. We survived one night.
She nods and she looks at Bjorn and she says, "You would leave your friends behind? Bjorn is coming with me." And Bjorn's like walked over to her and is like nuzzling her, and she's like petting his head and like looking at you like, he's mine now. He's
I
mine.
can't leave Bjorn with this creature. I must go.
Then I'm going with you.
Okay. We accept her invitation.
Yeah, she smiles and
Sure.
she says, "Good, good. You must be tired. This way." And Bjorn, now you can see he's been in the pool and he's come back and he like shakes the water off and like his paw is fine, like where the trap got him, and he just kind of like lumbers off in front of her like he already knows the way.
Okay.
Yeah, she gestures for you to follow, and she heads out.
Yeah, we follow.
Okay, all right. So you and your friends, and you two and your friends, you approach the home of Brynhildr from different directions, and we probably see a shot of you and your group and her moving through the woods. And we cut back and we see to you, and then when you step out into this clearing where her home is, she disappears. And just the same way, like she was sitting and then she was standing, it's like she was there and then she's not. But you get distracted because you see across the clearing, you see your friends emerging from the other side. In the middle of this wide open space, there is there's maybe like a spring or something. There's water coming up out of a sort of jut of rock, and it's creating a pool. And then in the center of the pool, there is a wooden hut. carved and built on top of this little island in this much larger pool of water. You can hear the burbling of the spring and the sound of the birds. And this home it's quite large. Like you could fit 100 people in here. It's a big hall, and there's smoke rising from a chimney. And the outside of this place is all intricately carved in the shapes of like water motifs. So there's sort of swirling waves. There's a woman, a beautiful woman, carved onto the one wall who seems to be like reclining in a river, but her hair is also part of the river. And then there's the big longhouse like doors, and they're wide open, and you can smell food. You can smell like meat cooking coming from the long hall. But yeah, you emerge and then suddenly like you see each other across the way.
Well, where have you been?
How did you come upon this place?
We went looking for you. What happened? Why didn't you join our caravan?
Bjorn got stuck
Funny
in a
story. Yeah.
Bjorn became injured, so we had to camp the night, and then we tried to find our way back, but we couldn't find the caravan anymore.
No matter. We seem to be in an interesting situation. Were you led here by this same woman that I just saw that is no longer here now?
With the green strap, yes.
So, looks like she's inviting us into this banquet hall. Should we proceed?
Up until this point, we intended on following her in to try and find her motives, but what do you think?
Well, I had absolutely no skill locating you, so basically she led me to you, so I see no ill will at that point.
Also, it smells like there's food in there, so.
Indeed, and we are hungry. We've been traveling for some time looking for you.
Yeah, and up ahead you see Bjorn's made it halfway across the clearing by now, and he looks back at you impatiently, like, come on! And he makes a low growl, like he's obviously hungry, and he turns and kind of like, continues in the same direction.
So are all the rest of our people also following us from the river?
No, they are
stayed?
still, they're still back at the pool having a great time.
A naked pool party.
Yeah.
All right, well, then I say let's proceed and see what this woman wants of us.
Just remember to keep your wits about you. Don't trust anything that you see or hear.
Sure.
All right. So the group of you head out into this long hall. You cross over a stone bridge, and as you do, the light changes as you cross the bridge. So where before it was dark and kind of ominous with the shadows from the trees above, as you cross, suddenly you see above you just like clear blue sky, maybe a couple of wispy clouds kind of floating. It's bright light. You can still smell food. And when you look past the bridge, when you look out at the water, everything's like kind of hazy. Like you can kind of make out the edges of trees, but they're blurry and at a distance and somehow seem not that important. You remember a forest vaguely, but not. There's something. It's slipping from your memory. But you can smell food, and you can hear music. And you feel drawn to the open doors of this great hall. And I think that we follow you in, and we can see the vastness of this place. There's a great hearth fire burning at the back. There's this enormous long table just laden with food, like full. That elk you were hunting before, you see an elk like laid out. There are meats. There's enormous horns of mead, and there's music, though you can't quite figure out where it's coming from. You can hear minstrels playing. And the place has a warmth that kind of just washes over you as you walk in.
I'd say before we take any bites of this food, we should speak to the woman and find out what exactly it is that she wants.
Yeah, is she anywhere to be found, or there are any people?
No, you seem to be alone in this room.
Well, that's very unhospitable.
Perhaps we should call to her.
All right.
Witch! Show yourself!
Okay, so again, as if she were there the whole time, at the head of the table, in a great chair crafted of antlers, you see her sitting, barefoot in her robes, her tattered robes, and yeah, she's like she was there all along, and she says, "Welcome to my hall. Please sit." Eat, drink. There's more than enough for everyone.
May I ask what the occasion for such a feast is?
New friends. Guests.
Unfortunately, I feel like we might have to decline this invitation. As it stands, we are on a mission of sorts and must return to our caravan and exit this wood promptly.
And she scowls at you, and you think you hear like the rumbling of thunder outside, and she says, "That would displease me greatly. I do not wish for you to leave. I have prepared this feast for you and for your friends.
Then what is it that you wish for?
Only your company. Come, sit by my side."
As I said before, we don't really have the time to sit and feast while our caravan carries on in an important mission. As a matter of fact, some of this food might serve them in this time of need. Perhaps you could help us locate that caravan.
And she says, "Oh, I know where your friends are." And she holds a hand out, and storm clouds like fill the space above the table, and all of the lights kind of lower, and you can see through this purple cloud. You can see your friends moving through the woods. It's a scene of oppressive darkness all around them. Right, you can see these yellow eyes watching them, and they seem blissfully ignorant of the fact that they're in terrible danger. Yeah, right. And you see Manic like, shouting out for you, like they're helpless. They're helpless without you, and they're in this like great and terrible danger, and they don't even realize it. And she shows you with her magic this vision.
Enough of these tricks. What is it that you actually want from us?
I only want for you to come and to stay and to speak with me. My followers and I, we've seen a great many things that could be of use to you.
And how long would you wish for us to stay, if we did in fact?
She says, only long enough for me to learn the nature of you. I understand you have pressing business. I would invite your friends as well, in from the cold and the dark, into safety, but she scowls, and when you see in the vision, you see Isgard, but Isgard doesn't look like we're used to her seeing. We see this like she's like a crone. She's like leaning on her staff, and she's like clutching the sword in its like packet. Like she's too afraid to even like leave it with the caravan anymore, and she's just kind of like lurching along, looking at everyone like villainously, and she's all like wrinkled and scary looking. And yeah, you feel like all three of you feel this kind of like ugh, that's what she like. She's terrible. And she Brynhildr says, but there is someone who travels with you who is not what they seem, who is a danger to you, who cares more for that sword that you carry, that gift for the shield maiden, than she does for your lives.
And why should we believe you?
And she smiles and she says, because I have so much to offer you.
So if we stay and have this meal with you and speak with you, will you then return us to our caravan?
Perhaps. Stay and eat with me. And when you have had your fill, sleep and rest. And in the morning, perhaps you can go and convince the rest of your caravan to come here and to do the same. The woods are dark, and there are creatures within that it would not do to face on an empty stomach.
I'd like to speak with my people, if I could.
And she nods and gestures like, please. And the hall's huge, right?
Okay, so we pick kind of a seemingly safe corner to converse.
Mm-hmm.
So, what say you?
I fear this is a trap to keep us for as long as she wants to.
Agreed.
Not for as long as we want.
But what of her visions of the witch?
A trick. Clearly.
Isgard has proved herself to be loyal to our company.
How well do you know Isgard?
I must say not well. Only what I've learned from our traveling.
She did fight with us against Thornheim.
All that she's done has been to protect our people, not just the sword.
She does seem to be aggressively obsessed with the trinket. Perhaps this wood witch has some truth to her knowledge of Isgard.
Are you confident that if we were to stay and feast with her, we'd still be able to get out of here if we were not to leave right now?
Perhaps we can make a deal.
I have a feeling she might like a deal. She might like to barter with us.
Let me try something. Witch.
She's really sick of you calling her that. She has a name, you know.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. Okay. So you look up and she looks at you.
So of that sword I carry, that you say belongs to someone else,
She nods.
how precious is it to you?
To me, not at all. It is a danger. You carry it and bring great terrors. You should leave it with me. I will dispose of it. Put it back where it belongs. You could not have known. It's not your fault.
And what say I don't give it back? What say I wield it?
She shakes her head. I would not do that if I were you. The sword, it calls out into what you do not want to find. Every moment you have it with you is a danger, but you are safe here. Those who seek it cannot hear its song. Not within my hall.
I kind of want to attack her with my sword.
Go for the head.
Torvald, do you remember what happened the last time you tried to do something violent around this witch? The sword might turn into
yes.
like a tree or something.
She has powers.
She seems to be potentially afraid of this sword. Maybe
She
there's
doesn't
a little...
want you to have it, for
No.
sure.
But she also wants it. She wants to get rid of it, but she doesn't want it in the sense that we could barter for it. Yeah, I'm gonna unsheath the sword and wield it.
So you like take it out and
Yeah.
okay,
And I'm gonna
hold it in your
wield
hands.
it and
so
say
you immediately recognize the sword that he has is made of the same material as the trap that got Bjorn.
Okay.
and I'm going to threaten her with it. And I'm going to say, enough of these tricks. You're going to let me and my friends go, or I'll destroy this building.
And she stares at you, and there's this kind of like flash in her eyes, and she sneers, and she says, "The creature that wielded that sword before you couldn't hurt me with it. What makes you think you can?" It's like a rumble. It's got those witch sound effects.
What do you know of Varl, witch?
I know plenty.
Well, then you know that it is blood that I seek, not conversation.
And she shakes her head and she says, "You are going to make a grave mistake if you try to harm me here in my hall."
Alright, I'm gonna take a swing at her.
You're dooming us all.
Okay, alright, you take a swing at her. Alright, so you like,
Yep.
swing, you take a swing.
Yeah,
Okay.
enough of this conversation.
Okay.
15,
Okay.
plus what? Strength?
Yep.
Plus 4, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Alright, so you take a swing at her, the sword sweeps through her like she was smoke, and she vanishes, and in an instant, the hall and the table and everything around suddenly becomes dark. You can see there are holes in the rotted roof. The table is broken and covered in moss. The place has been, it seems it's been abandoned for decades. It's all but falling apart. There are pools of rainwater on the ground, and suddenly it's dark and cold. And Bjorn lets out a low, mournful growl, and seems like agitated. The sword in your hands, you can feel it vibrating, and it's humming like a tuning fork that's been struck against a wall.
Mm-hmm. Well, it does seem that this hall was some sort of trickery. Look at it now. There's no food or warmth here at all.
I think we should get out of here as quickly as possible.
Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Fine.
So the three of you, you turn to leave. Meanwhile, back at the caravan, night has started to fall. It's starting to get dark again, and still no sign of your friends.
I grow greatly concerned now. It's one thing for a few humans to go out, but for a Varl to not be able to handle this situation and come back, it just really concerns me. He would have given up and returned by now.
Adric is, as I have said before, an incredibly powerful force in combat. But this may be altogether a new form of combat. All we can do is have hope that they carry on. I mean, if we go looking for them, we doom the caravan. If we stay and let them rest overnight, who knows? And if we press on, we chance completely losing our friends forever.
A grave situation we are in. I would like to survey again, just...
Yeah, before it gets too dark to see anything.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
One.
Oh, yes.
What would I add to that? Nothing?
That is correct. Yeah. Yeah.
You forgot your glasses.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So what is it? What is it that like distracts you? Why you can't even? It's like trees everywhere, and you feel them pressing in on you, and this is not. You're surrounded by these humans.
Do I possibly look out and see like the silhouette, and then it disappears?
I don't think you see anything. I think that it's
I don't
like
see
just.
anything.
Or maybe you think you do. Maybe you think you see
Yeah, so I
something.
mean, like, I think
Yeah.
I see someone in from the distance, but then when I look when I focus, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I try to make any kind of like awareness check to see if there's anything on the edges of the wood
Yeah,
that looks
sure.
unusual?
Yeah.
So what would I have awareness? So I know that's a +1, but is there any core stat that applies?
Be your knowledge.
14.
Okay. All right. So you cast a look around, and you can see Magnus is having a hard time, and then that's when you see her. So the twilight has come on. It's dark. She has the sun behind her, so you just see her silhouette at first, and she's bare feet, long torn robes, the curving staff. And her hair is like almost floating, like she's underwater. So she's got this kind of like shot underwater quality, and you just see her standing in the path in front of you with sort of flickering purple in her eyes.
Would I have any prior knowledge of who this might be or what type of magic she might be using?
Maybe you can roll.
Okay.
You can roll. Roll your knowledge. You get a good look at her.
12.
12. Okay. I mean, she's like a Valka or a witch or something.
Okay.
You're not sure. There's definitely like magic at play here. But she does appear to be human, right? Like she's not, and she's just staring at you, like, and maybe no one else sees her. Maybe you just see Isgard just like looking at nothing.
Which one are you staring at?
I'm reaching my arm back without, like, towards Magnus's voice without moving my gaze. There is someone here with power I do not understand. She does not seem kindly.
I see no one here.
So when you say that, I see no one here. You hear a woman's voice next to you, say, "Magnus," and you turn. And you don't see her anymore. Now you do.
Okay.
And you see this witch, and she just like reaches up and touches your arm. And I need you to make a willpower roll.
Shoot.
Yeah,
Okay.
make a
willpower roll. 7 + 1, 8.
Okay. All right. So you don't see her, but you do see Magnus's eyes like flash purple for a moment. And Magnus, now you see Isgard as looking like wizened and scary, and like that she's the one. She's why you're lost in the woods. She's been picking off your friends one at a time.
Do I recognize it as Isgard, or do I think it's something else?
It's definitely
entirely?
Isgard, but like you're finally seeing her for the first time.
Oh, okay. Witch. I'm seeing you in a completely different light, and I'm not trusting you.
You are overtaken by some sort of spell. I need you to trust me.
This is what you've wanted all this time.
I
For us
have-
to spread apart, for us to separate, so that you can have this sword for yourself. That's why you've always been caring about it more than the people in this caravan. And now others are lost because of your greed for this weapon.
I have lived by your side in Kettleguard for years. I have fought by your side this entire journey. Why would you doubt my motives?
I do not trust you, witch. I do not trust this magic. I do not trust this wood. This all could be a conjuring of yours. And I start to, like, reach for my weapon.
Yeah.
Tell me what is happening now, witch, and tell me where the others are immediately.
Magnus, do not be weak! You are not weak! You are strong and you are a leader, but you are letting this magic overtake you, and you are better than this!
No one calls a Varl weak! And then that's when I completely pull it out.
Draw your sword. Okay. All right. So you draw your sword. People in the caravan there's some screams of fear. They don't really like either of you, and now you're fighting. And so they're like, "Oh God, where are the humans? Like, where is Sylvie? Sylvie would not let this happen. We like her. She's great. But now this jerk and that scary lady are fighting. So everyone's terrified." And there's like screaming and they
is there something
scatter.
in my? It's like I'm having like the gaze, right?
Yeah, you
Okay.
got the like flickering and
Right.
yeah. I mean, obviously you can't see it, but everyone can see your eyes are glowing, and they're like, I don't know, is that Varl do that? Is that a thing? What does that mean?
Yes. I will ask you one last time. Where is Adric? Where is Sylvie? Where is Torvald? Where are the others?
I am trying to find them, the same as you.
Lies. All lies.
All right, I'm going to turn to the rest of the caravan and try to persuade them.
Okay.
If he becomes violent, do not harm him, but do everything you can to restrain him, and I will do the same. We must stick together.
Okay. Try to influence the caravan.
Okay. Oh God. I have a +4, but it doesn't matter because I rolled a 3.
Y'all are rolling so well today. Okay, so you turn, and I think you start saying this, and you get distracted because you can see the ghostly shape of Brynhildr, and you see her. We get her shot in this kind of like she's standing in one place, and then she stutters forward step by step, and she's moving towards the caravan where the sword is.
Oh, this
and
bitch.
you see Isgard staring at the caravan where the sword is. Like she's just turned her attention away from you and is staring right at it.
So I want to yell to the people. Humans! I know that you may not trust a Varl, but you can trust one more than a witch. She has misled us and led us astray, and now others are lost because of her guidance. I say we move on without her and get this sword away from her, because it clearly is what is most important to her. You keep her back. I will grab the sword, and I'm going right towards where the sword is.
Okay, and you want to try to rally the people to like keep her back?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll influence.
5.
Okay, neither of you are able
They're
to
just
convince.
scared of
They're
all
scared
of
of all
us.
of you. So they've all backed away.
That's fine.
The card is.
If you do not do it, then I will move you out of the way as well. And I just start
You're just like, throwing
I'm
people.
pushing people, whatever. Yeah.
They're terrified. They can't run fast enough. You just knock them aside. So he's like barreling towards the sword. Isgard, what are you gonna do?
Oh, damn it. Well, I don't want to kill him.
This is very exciting.
I
This took a turn.
I'm glad we're not here.
Yeah. Although we're not in a great place
No.
either.
I'm going to run toward a different part of the caravan,
Okay.
as
So-
if
so-
that's where the sword is.
Well, so here's the thing. Everybody knows you know where the caravan, the sword is, and he knows which one it's in. She is moving closer to it. He can't see her, but she's like right near there. So you would have to go and stop her from taking it.
she's
Yeah.
going to get
Yeah,
it.
she's walking towards it.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And then I'm also heading.
And you're
towards
barreling. You're much closer.
Yeah.
But if you run for it, you could probably grab it before she gets it or he gets to it. What do you want to do? You have to stop her.
I guess if there's any way I can put myself in between her and the sword, and I'm just gonna talk to her. What is it you want with Dredgehammer, and what can I do to stop you? Millions will perish.
And she looks back at you like smiling, like she's just like, oh really? I didn't know that. And she's like reaching for it and just staring at you with her like flashing eyes.
If I have to sacrifice myself, then I must, and I'm gonna ride the lightning.
Okay, so you wanna like teleport over there with your lightning power?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you can you're fast, you got the magic, you can get over there and grab it. You'll have to physically like take it from her because she's putting her hands on it. But you wanna do that?
My intention is to hurt her.
Okay. All right. Sure. So let's see. How does you're gonna deal her some damage?
Yeah. And maybe hit the material of the wagon at the same time.
Oh, okay. So you're just gonna turn into a lightning bolt and hit the wagon and just.
Yeah, like just cause
okay. All right. So there's
massive distraction.
Yeah, perfect. So there's a flash of lightning. She disappears. The caravan is struck. It bursts into flames. This cart bursts into flames. You knock Brynhilder back. She like holds her hands up as the bright flash. And the thing is on fire. The sword is like in there. You see this happen. She's done something. What are you gonna do?
She just lit the thing on fire?
Yeah, and Brynhilder staggers back. She doesn't get her hands on the sword yet, but we can see the wrapping that it's in this now burning cart.
So it's still in there?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's fire.
Right?
So I first am just like, Rah! Is there there's nothing close by to like douse it or?
Not really, no.
Okay. So then I look back at Isgard. It's like, fire! You know my weakness, witch. I can no longer trust you.
Stay away from the sword. No one can trust you right now. You are under her spell.
So, I want to grab like, is there like maybe like a branch or something that's on the ground or that I can, or even one I can just rip up. All right, I want to rip off a branch.
Okay.
I want to rip off a branch and throw it at Isgard.
Throw it at her? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So make a strength roll, and you can oppose it with an agility roll.
Yep.
3. It's like I went to grab for the big branch, but you know how you try to break a branch, but only like a part of it breaks
You
off.
get a handful of leaves and just throw them at her. Leaves.
And I would like to spend a willpower so that I can roll 2 dice for
Okay.
this
Yeah,
agility
that's
roll.
good. That's a good call.
Let's take these 2.
Yeah, because otherwise you might roll a 2, and then
Just
it'll be really
in case.
embarrassing for you.
Just in case. All right, so 16.
Okay. All right. So do you like physically dodge out of the way, or do you use magic? Do you just appear somewhere else and it crashes into the ground? What does that look like?
It's a physical dodge. As soon as she senses something, as soon as I sense something coming at me, I kind of get into like a pounce position and very quickly maneuver myself out of the way.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so you hurl the branch, and it's big, right? So it crashes into the ground, throws dirt and rocks up in the air. There's more screams of panic as people like back away, because now people are throwing things and there's lightning. And you both, I guess you don't hear it, but you hear the whisper of Brunhilde casting another spell, and we see her just blow some like dust, and a bunch of other people that were scared like kind of go like slack, and they start walking towards the fire, the burning cart.
No.
So there's like a half dozen of them just staggering like like towards the cart.
Boss battle.
Magnus, look at them. They are walking toward the flame. Nothing but an evil magic could make that happen. You yourself know the fear that flame induces.
I will listen to you no longer, witch. And then I want to just try to grab Isgard.
Yeah. So he comes lumbering towards you because clearly she's ensorcellating these people to do this their dirty work.
This is probably more of your doing.
So he comes running in. And remember, he's enormous. Like, he is a giant. He can pick you up in one hand. So he comes lunging in to grab you. So I think same jam. Strength versus agility.
Spending that willpower.
Just spend another willpower.
Ooh,
Yeah.
baby.
Okay.
What is that, my strength?
Plus your strength, yeah.
17.
God damn.
Okay, so
All
you got
right.
2 chances. You're adding your agility.
Oh no, that's a 13.
Okay, all right. So you grab her bodily, and you like pick her up. And this is very literally, this is like a King Kong Fey Ray situation. Like her little legs hanging on her head. She's like, oh, I got you. Okay, so he's like yanked you up off the ground.
Can I see what his intention is? I mean, I'm sure it's not
you
good.
can say and do nothing and wait until he like squeezes you a little.
Yeah,
or
I'm
throws you or
gonna
busts you in
say-
half or-
I'm gonna switch tactics and just go super calm.
Uh-huh.
I do not want to fight you.
Down below, you see one of the maybe it's Torstein. You see him like reaching into the fire, and his like flesh is burning, his beard like is catching fire, and he's just like going to pick up the sword, and his like, flesh is getting all red, and they're just staggering towards it.
So I'm gonna like, you say you didn't make this fire? You don't want it here? Prove it! And I want to throw her towards the fire.
Okay, all right. You're gonna get thrown into the fire. So you feel suddenly like you get whiplash, or you get pulled back one way, and then suddenly the world is whizzing by you. What do you want to do? Do you just try to like curl up in a ball?
Yeah,
or?
try to roll through the landing and
Okay, all right.
stick the landing as much as I can. I
Okay,
guess.
Sure. Make another agility roll. Let's see how it goes.
14.
14. Okay. All right. So you don't get hit that hard. But you're very fragile,
I'm
aren't
super
you?
squishy.
Okay. What's your strength? You got like 10 hit points, I think.
Yeah.
Or your health total?
My health is 10.
10. Okay. All right. I'll get you to roll. Roll 2d6. Here, I got
2d6?
I got
Oh,
two.
God.
Here.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Oh.
just 2. Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
What is that? Oh, is that the 6?
I can't tell if that's a 6 or a 1. No, that's a 1.
Oh, then never mind. Then 3.
Okay, plus your strength.
Oh, 6.
Okay, so you take 3 damage to your health, and you manage to hit the corner of the cart. The cart tips over. Its burning contents spilling out onto the ground. The grasses around it get like scattered with this burning rubble. It hurts. Your ears are ringing. Your cloak is kind of on fire, and you're staggered, but you're still conscious. You didn't die or break your neck or anything. And we see Torstein holding the sword, and he turns, this like purple in his eyes, towards the witch Brunhilde, who's just like gesturing, "Come here, Torstein," and he's just like, "I have a gift for," and he's staggering towards her. But of course, she's positioned herself on the other side of Isgard. So Torstein, you see him stand up and look at Isgard and just start walking towards her with the sword out.
So I'm gonna grab. I'm still wanting the sword. Now that it's away from the fire, I want to grab it. So like, I just look at it and go, "That is what I want. I knew I couldn't trust that smith either." And I just lunge to like I like grab them both.
Yeah.
And then like hold sword in hand, throw him.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Make a strength roll.
All right. Ah! 9
Okay, plus your strength.
3 is 12.
Okay, yeah, 12's enough. So you come and you grab him and you just like pull him apart. You probably break both his arms and you throw him into the woods.
He was
and you
already
hear him-
burned up anyway.
Yeah, you hear him
Didn't need the
crunch.
arms.
Yeah, he crunches against a tree. And when you yank the sword free, the cloth wrapping on it, it's like all burned in, like it peels away, and we see the sword. We see Elfdan Dredgehammer underneath. It's perfect white steel, glimmering in the firelight. And when you do, it immediately emits this perfect loud bell tone. So you all hear this. It immediately breaks the spell that you're under.
Oh.
It rings out, and there's a flash of light that illuminates around you. And you see, gathered on either side of the caravan, dozens of these statue-looking creatures, these intricate stone-looking creatures that are lurking in the edge. Their yellow eyes glowing in their stony faces.
But they cannot see them.
No, everyone does. The light illuminates, and you all see this. So the three of you who ran out into the woods, you see suddenly off to one side a bright white flash.
We head towards that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you turn and you start running that way. And what do you do? You're holding the thing. Everybody's a little bit stunned. And what are you gonna do? You haven't had an action. You're lying on the ground. What are you doing?
Where is Brunhilde?
Brynhilder, make a roll. Make an awareness roll so you can find her.
Nat 1.
Nice. Okay.
I'm doing great.
All right. So
You're like me last round.
So you go. Well, you go looking for her. You're like, where is she? And then suddenly she's like on top of you.
Of course.
And she's got her hands around your neck, and she's trying to strangle you. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna ride the lightning this bitch.
Okay. All right. You're blowing through your willpower. All right.
That's all right. Do
Let's
it.
see.
I got it. I get it back once a round.
You get it back once. Yeah, once a session. So let's
Oh
roll.
no, dark energy at the end of each
Yes,
of your turns.
that's right. You get one back every round. So
I'm doing all right.
So she's gonna try to like slam your head against a rock and knock you out. Let's see if you're fast enough to lightning out of here. So roll agility. I'm gonna roll. I'll roll first. I got a 15.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a willpower for that agility
Spend
roll.
Another one. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank God I did. 15.
Okay, we're tied. You gotta roll again.
God, doing it again.
Spend another willpower.
Yeah.
Wow, burning through willpower.
I got a 19 this time.
God damn it! I got a 19 as well.
Wow.
All right.
Haha, Brynhilder.
This battle rocks.
All right, again.
Again.
Okay. I got a 1.
I got a 21.
Okay. All right. So you beat her on the.
I
the
just
third
spent
attempt.
so much
I'm on the edge
willpower.
of my seat over
So
here.
the three of you,
sweating.
the three of you. So there's this bright flash. Then you hear a crash of thunder, and there's a strike of lightning. You see purple lightning, and you flash out away from her, and she like stumbles forward and hisses at you. She's gonna take some damage, right? How much damage
Yeah.
did your red lightning do?
So what I have left at this point
Yeah.
is 6.
6.
So she'll take 6.
All right. So there's a scream of pain and rage. So while they're and so she's like standing up, and then what are you gonna do?
So how many of the stone beasts do we see?
A lot, like dozens.
Oh,
like they're just waiting at the edge to like ambush you, and they all have. You see some of them holding these 2-pronged swords, like we've seen after carrying around. And they seem like they're just waiting for something to break so they can like lunge at you.
Oh well, seeing as there are a bunch of them, and I have a new weapon in my hand, I feel like that's a good way of just like slicing through a bunch of these.
You just don't like throw yourself into them.
Yeah, just
bring the fight to them.
Yeah, so I want to do like, is there a specific number or is it just a bunch?
There are enough that you will not be able to single-handedly defeat all of them by yourself, unless this is a like fly you fools situation.
Okay. Well, I will yell to the people, hide, run. This is not safe here. And I want to do like maybe like I want to do 3 slashes to see with each one how much I hit.
So you just wade into them, just
Yeah, just
swinging
like
your sword.
and see how good it is.
Okay. Yeah. So they don't respond. There's no shout. They don't even seem to have mouths. As you throw yourself into them, some of them bring up shields and they start to fight back. They seem to recoil from Dredgehammer for some reason. And yeah, you start cutting into them. You start severing stony limbs and just like hacking into them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, at this point, like some of the humans start to run and they get knocked down by, some of them have slings, and so they're flinging these exploding sling bullets into the crowd, and people are getting knocked down and killed. Anyone that flees into the wall of creatures that are on either side of you is cut down, and it's just chaos. And the three of you're getting closer and closer. You hear the sounds of battle. You hear Magnus shouting, and I think this is when you spot some of these creatures that are lurking in the woods.
The stone creatures?
Yeah, you can see them looking at you. And the two of you notice they barely see you, but they definitely are paying attention to Adric, right? They turn and like look at him, sort of this baleful look.
Well, I definitely want to fight them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want
with the humming sword, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to stop and then let these two and Bjorn run ahead?
Yeah, maybe I'd say continue following where the light came from, and I'll fight these guys off so they don't follow you guys.
Okay, all right. So you stay, and they just like pile on you.
Okay.
They start coming at you with sword and shield, and you the same. Where are you two going? You're gonna just like keep running? Okay, we'll keep running.
You got some water? You want some water over there? Can we get him some water?
Lost my voice.
Oh no!
That's all right. The witch took it.
Is there like a split screen of me and Adric? Because we're
Yeah. And how does my sword fight work against them pretty well, or is it just kind of like
it works as well as your
my
own
own sword?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe not as well, but there's something like they're fighting. Like your use of this weapon is like abhorrent to them. They fight you with a fervor that they're not fighting Magnus with. There's something that like angers them or something about you having this weapon.
Okay.
So the two of you rush to the caravan, and it's chaos, right? People are running around screaming. There's corpses. You see Torstein's broken body, like he got thrown into a tree. He's all like bent over backwards.
burnt
out
out
too. His
Yeah.
face is burnt.
And like you see these white arcs of light across the way from you as Magnus with his sword, and it's much smaller. It's like a human two-handed sword. So for you, it's like a big dagger, and you're just cutting into these things. And you can hear as he swings it this like ethereal singing that it does, that the song of the sword as he cuts through his enemies. But you come in here, and everything is just nuts. And I think we see Isgard, and you see the other witch, and they're both doing the like shooting lightning at each other thing. What are you gonna do?
I don't know that I want to get involved in a witch fight.
Yeah, there's like there's that.
Don't bring a sword to a witch fight.
Yeah, right? I didn't bring my wand.
Yeah.
I kind of want to use one of my like class abilities here,
Yeah,
though.
okay. What do you want to use?
I kind of want to get my own group of them and use shield smash.
Yeah.
But make sure none of like my friends are around.
Okay, so you want to join the battle too? You want to like get everybody to come in and
Yeah.
fight? Okay. Well, so from here, the best fight to join, because these other creatures, they're just kind of opportunistically like picking people off as they run.
Right.
So the best fight here, you can either like try to rally the fighters to you and like set up a shield wall and try to push them back, or you can go and help Magnus, he's doing good, but there's a lot of them, and they're getting in on him.
Okay, I'm gonna help Magnus.
Okay, so you run to Magnus's side?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we see in the foreground of your show, so you run past and we see like one of these stone creatures cut someone down, and they like reach out to you like and they get sliced down. And people are getting killed by these monsters, but you're fighting, and I think that the two of you are like slowly making your way towards each other in the battle as these things are like piling on around you, and they fight like remorselessly. They don't stop, they don't slow down, and then suddenly this little shield maiden bursts through the crowd. And I think let's have you roll to see if you can like shove your way forward to get in there. So roll plus your strength.
Okay.
Yeah, d20 plus your strength.
18.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. No problem. So yeah, there's suddenly two of them, and they go flying, and you just see the shield behind which is Sylvie, and then you emerge, and you can hear Adric shouting, and you can hear the familiar sounds. You know what it sounds like when Adric's in a fight. You can hear him at a distance through this crowd.
I knew you would all show up for a battle.
We can't let you fight them alone.
Spoken like a true leader. And then I want to put my palm out and have Sylvie jump in it, and then I'm gonna like throw her up to where she like slices one of the people, like the head of one of the stone warriors.
Yeah, because some of these are like Varl size. Some of the ones at the back, like they're staggered.
So I throw her up so she can slice one head, and then come down and then like land on it
with my shield.
Yeah, with the shield. And then I'm going to push that head with her on it so that she can, like, slice the legs of others until they get them, like, lose their footing. That way I can come in and slam on top of their head.
You have a thing for
That's
the
a
heads.
combo.
Yeah, I like that.
I want to combo it up.
Okay.
Varls like to go for the head.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Great.
seems like it.
It's the instant death.
It's a quick kill.
It's
Yeah.
a quick kill.
Yeah, so the two of you meet up in battle, and you pick her up and throw her into the fray.
I'm into it.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's see how that goes. Why don't you roll your strength?
Oh, I don't. I just get to do that.
No, you don't.
You can try.
Let's see here. What do I get to do?
Yeah, roll plus your strength.
Can I use a willpower?
Yeah. And you can roll twice and keep the best one.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Because I want this to land.
Ooh.
All right, let's try that again. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, 15 plus 3, 18.
Nice.
Okay, all right. So now I'll have you do the same. You roll your strength, and you automatically get to roll both because Magnus helped you out.
Okay, can I throw athletics in here?
Yeah, this sounds like an
Cool.
athletic activity.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so 2 of these.
Yeah, roll both of those. Add 3 to either one.
13 plus 3, 16.
16. Nice. Okay. All right. So, you get thrown in shield first, and this is where you can do your shield smash, right? Like you crash into them, and it's like you're a cannonball, right, made out of shield and girl, and you hit one of them in the front, and his shoulder and upper arm just shatters into chunks, and the pieces, the splinters fly up, and we see them hitting the trees around you like artillery shells. So the trees blow up, there's bark flying everywhere. They hit each other and they scatter, but there's more of them behind that just fall in front of you, and you're getting pushed back. What are you gonna do, you and Bjorn?
Bjorn, pounce!
Right. Okay. So now is your intent to help with this like melee that's going on here, or do you want to get Bjorn to like stop them from attacking the caravan? What's your priority?
I'd like to help Sylvie.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna join in with them too. Okay. Great. So you send Bjorn. Bjorn goes running, and leaps into the fray.
9.
Okay, all right. So I think we see Bjorn, he lashes out, but he's still slow from his injured paw, and he scrapes the shield of one of these things that then hits him with a club and knocks him back. So there's chaos, these creatures all around fighting. Part of the caravan is on fire. It's tipped over in the middle of the woods. I think the fire is starting to spread. Isgard, what are you gonna do?
I mean, I'm just like facing off with this witch, right?
Yeah, that's right. So you've knocked her back. She's like crackling. She's got her staff and she's staring at you. And she sneers and she says, "You see, all I wanted to do was protect us from these things, and you are meddling. Give me the sword."
Why should I believe you?
And she grins and she says, "You have little choice. If you want to make it out of the woods alive, there's only one way."
Oh, I don't believe her.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable way to
I mean,
feel.
I'm going to try to ride the lightning into her again.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
you're going to try to zap her again? Great.
Yeah, I'm going to, And if I can focus my gaze, transform into lightning, and travel through her so that when I become my corporal form again, it's behind her.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Terrifying.
That's my plan.
Great. You do that.
And so at this point, it would then be 7 damage.
Okay. All right. So yeah, there's a flash of lightning. We get to see her skeleton as you like rip through her, and she falls to one knee, and she turns. She looks up at you, and she shakes her head. And it's like smoking, and she says, "Take your precious sword. Try and flee the woods." And then she tumbles forward and turns into water and just disappears. And then that's when, for you, the sharp relief, like you don't have this person in front of you focusing your attention. You look around, and there's just like bodies, and you see your friends fighting, and this is very bad. There are so many of these things. Adric, you are expert at fighting lots of things at once, right?
Yeah,
You're
I have a
warrior, and
move
you're
here too, heavy impact, that I'd like to use if I could.
Yeah. So for you, everybody else is like fighting for their lives, but like you work best when you have a bunch of people trying to kill you.
Yeah, of
and
course.
so when we see you, what does that look like?
I think it's just like tons of these things on top of me, and I'm just like trying to get them off and like slicing them up as they keep coming, but it seems endless at that point.
Yeah, they're just piling on, and like you can feel your reserves of energy starting to get low. Like you can keep fighting, but not forever. And there's so many of them, and they don't seem to feel pain. And you're killing them off, but they don't stop.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe the sword has something to do with their attack, perhaps, and maybe getting rid of it. Maybe throwing it deep into the woods. Maybe they'll like chase after it or something.
Yeah,
like,
do you want to try?
Yeah, why not? I mean, my sword's more powerful than that anyway, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd like to, because I mean, I don't see a stop of these things, and since it seems like they're concentrating on me at this point. So yeah, I just want to throw it as far deep into the woods
Okay.
as I can.
Yeah, make a strength roll to hurl this sword as far as I can get it.
Ooh, all right. 1 plus 4. That's a 5.
All right, so you three are fighting, and there's a clearing path where we see Adric take this big swing and knock a bunch of them back. The fury on his face is clear from even this distance, and he goes back and he looks like he's gonna throw the sword, and then you get stabbed in the stomach. One of these things like slides the sword at you, and you see him grab and his blood, and you stumble to one knee. And then they jump on him, right? He disappears under a pile, and they're just like hitting him with clubs, and he all but disappears under this like pile. And for you, the whole world is just being pummeled with clubs, like stone batons, just like hitting your bones.
Oh man,
it's not good.
No.
What are you gonna do? You see that he's in dire need, but also like everybody's dying in the caravan. These things they're flinging stones at anyone who tries to run. You see one of them like picking up a dead human and like throwing him aside. It's bad.
They're here for our sword, right? Like that's apparently their fixation.
Who even knows what they want? They're just messing everything up. They're just killing people, and it's bad. And they're screaming, and somebody's like, "Help me!" And then they're dead. And
If I were to run and grab that sword and just take off into the woods with it,
Magnus is fighting with it right now.
Okay.
He's got it.
I think that's their fixation. If I can take it and just book it into the woods, they'll all follow me, and the caravan can kind of regroup, and I'll just make a run for the end of the woods.
Isgard does not seem
No.
convinced.
Oh no.
Also, she doesn't want you to run off alone with a sword, I think.
True.
I mean, maybe Isgard, you see Sylvie, firelight flickering on her face, looking around, like trying to figure out what to do.
The sword must make it to Grinholm.
But it might.
So many will die. There will be so much devastation if it does not. Far worse than what you're seeing with our caravan right now.
So many will die now if we don't do something.
Yes, I'm telling you, the lesser of two evils is everyone in this caravan dying now.
Sorry, Chad, you're dead now. They're just gonna leave you. You all die. This is what you get for being nice to that old lady. Sorry.
What would you advise in this situation?
Right now, I would support our warriors. This is what they do.
Well, so Magnus, you see Adric go down under a wave, a tsunami of these stone creatures.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
So, since I apparently also have a good agility attack for missiles, missile-like weapons, I'm going to use myself as that. I am going to run. I'm going to, let's just say, like a tree or a stone or something that I jump on just to give me some leverage.
Yeah, one of the big ones with the shield has died. And it's fallen over, and the shield is like
knock
a ramp.
one over, and then I jump off of him, and kind of like bullet myself, straight towards it with battle axe in hand, of course, towards the dog pile.
So now you have your battle axe and you have the offhand dredge hammer.
Double.
Okay.
But then I'm like holding it ahead, bullet, and then I want to just like burst through that pile.
Yeah. Okay.
To make room.
Yeah.
So that it also looks like I can reconnect with Adric and find out what's happening.
Make a strength roll.
15 plus 3 is 8 plus 2 agility is 20.
All right, so you leap forward,
and it's like boom.
Yeah, you crash.
Yeah,
you come crashing down in front of Adric, and Dredgehammer erupts with white light. There's a dome of light that pulses out, and throws all of them off of you in a wave.
Slow mo, of all of them,
and they go flying. And Adric, you look up and you see Magnus, doing the one knee, standing up. He's got his axe and his sword. You see your human friends off to one side, and there's that again, keeping him with the slow motion. Like you're standing up and you're bloody and covered in wounds, and you have this realization that you can't win this fight. You look around and there's just more of them coming, and there's the road and there's the woods. But you can't stay here.
I think we should flee. I'm too wounded to go on, brother. Nice dagger, by the way.
Thanks. And a new sword and a new weapon for you as well.
Yeah, I found it in the woods. It's pretty cool.
Do I know that he tried to throw it?
No.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you have it in your hands, and it's like you can see he's got this sword, and it's like vibrating and humming, and
It vibrates and makes noise.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of drawn to it. I think it's cool.
Do you think should we keep it? Does it has anything connection to do with these creatures?
Well, the witch did say there was some evil attached to it, so yeah, maybe we should get rid of this thing.
Okay. Since I have missile,
yeah,
I have a good agility.
yeah, you want to take it and
In addition to my sword, I will let me attempt this.
okay, yeah. I mean, you've got some clear space, so you put your battle axe down, or do you give Dredgehammer to him? Or?
No, I put them.
Okay, so
I put them back in.
Put it back in. Your
Well,
inventory.
yeah. Well, I put my battle axe back in, but I
Okay.
hold on to. I still have Dredgehammer in
Okay.
hand, but with the other hand, I reach out to take this, and then I want to do like a freaking what is it called? Like in the Olympics where you just
Oh, like a
like
hammer throw?
yeah, or like
around,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like just toss it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, make
And I'm gonna
a
use
roll.
willpower on that one.
Okay, yeah, roll 2d20 and
All
pick
right.
the best one.
Ooh, it was almost 20.
Mm-hmm.
18.
That's always good.
Nice.
All right, so 18 plus 3 strength plus 2 agility, 23.
Okay, all right. So you hurl it as hard as you can, and it goes flying through the woods.
Hell yeah.
And at some distance, we hear it thunk into a tree. We can see it bury itself like halfway into one of these huge ancient
Yeah.
trees. And
then,
yeah,
yo, there's your weapon.
yeah, and the creatures, we can hear it humming, and they all kind of like look up and then rush off in that direction. And it gives you an opportunity. Now, they're not going to be distracted long. They're going to go and get it. But it gives you a moment, right, where they're all distracted and they're paying attention over there to like get the caravan up and get the
Yes.
hell out of here.
Run! Yeah, I say we run. So
Follow the road.
Yeah, I say we grab whatever like things or people that we can like carry and
Whatever
hold
we can
would
salvage.
run, and then everyone else just sprints.
Book it.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna
Yes.
run for it. Okay. Great. Well, I think with your distraction in place and everybody ready to run, do you just get up and shout and everybody runs and that's it, or do you stop to like help people or?
I mean, the Varl could gather the wounded,
Yeah.
maybe, and put them into one of the caravans or something.
I'm
Yeah.
Into
sure
one of
people
the-
will refuse my help after that fireworks display, but as much as I can, if anyone will trust me, I will try to gather people.
Yeah, Adric, you probably are gonna want to get them more than I will. I'll explain later.
Sure, okay. I
But-
got a stab in my stomach over here, though, so I might be able to take a little time.
Yeah.
But I'll be as quick as I can.
But I will grab like how big like can I hold people in my hand or is
You
that
could hold like one person in each hand and like lift them up. You
okay?
could like jam one under each arm and like,
All right,
but like you really don't have. You can't like scoop them because they're all individual squiggly units.
all right. Well then,
You get a bag and like scoop them all up. You don't have a bag.
Put
big
them in
enough.
like a big thing and drag them.
Yeah.
sack.
Okay.
That would make people.
Is there anything with wheels that we could just like pull as Varl, just kind of like run with
there
a
are,
thing?
There are yaks that are pulling some of the carts with all the supplies on them, but like several of them have died.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
only have like a minute here, but those things are going to be back.
That's what I'm saying.
And
So
in-
I want
in
to
greater numbers.
grab in hand as much as I can that I can carry.
So
with
you
me.
could with both hands you could pick up a cart.
Yes.
Okay, so there's like a dead yaks attached to a cart. And you just like snap the cart off and like
Yeah.
lift it on your shoulder.
I want to do that.
Okay.
I want to lift one on my shoulder. So I got this one here,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna. Is Bjorn okay? Is he? Can he move?
Yes. Yeah. Bjorn's good.
So he can run.
Yeah.
All right. Then I like motion Torvald, and we try to get people, I guess, to take
Okay.
a ride on Bjorn. I'm just trying to think of all the fast methods we have.
Yeah, we don't have much of a choice. I think
Yeah.
we can only get a few wounded and then run off.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take the supplies. You take as many of the wounded
Sure.
as possible, and everyone else sprints.
Okay. Can you roll a d10 for me?
A D10.
Yeah, it's the.
Okay.
That's the guy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 9.
Nice. Okay, great. So you are able, if you pile stuff on top of this cart,
Yeah.
lift it onto your shoulder, then you start to run, and then you're going to gather up like some wounded and try to like help them along. What are you guys doing before you flee? Yeah, everybody's like, stay away from me. It's scary.
Figured. I want to grab the remainder of what hasn't been stolen of the medicinal supplies.
Okay. Sure.
And if I have any room left over to carry anything as much
Where
food as I can carry.
where is Dredgehammer? Because you have to use both hands to
Sheathed-
carry this thing.
Oh.
Sheathed on you, right?
Yeah, it's sheathed on me.
Okay. So you just
I
have
will
it, like,
sheath it. Yeah, I will sheath it, and then
tucked in your belt. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So you grab some supplies.
Just running.
Yeah. You and Bjorn are just like, let's go, and you can lead the way because you're fast, right? What are you doing?
I'm just gonna grab like a couple bags of whatever I can carry of food, and then also run.
Okay, sure. So you grab a couple of packs and you run off. All right. So you flee, leaving behind you the last who are too slow to catch up. Those who maybe were injured by these creatures. The creatures themselves. The witch and her cult, as well as those who are ensorcelled by her.
No, the naked people.
They're gonna have a great naked time for the rest of their short, weird lives. and you flee the old wood, and after several days of travel, you finally reach its edge. Oof. And you realize that you've left the horrors of this place behind. And just as we end, I have one last decision for the caravan. So
For the remaining.
Yeah, all two of you.
Yeah.
So if you're still alive, caravan.
Count on one hand the caravan. That's for sure.
Yeah. If you still got it, if you're still there, lift your wounded hands and click the button. So go to Banner Saga RPG.com and use your wounded hands to tell me what you decide. So, strange plants, weird creatures, singing in the dark, cults, witches, they all abound in the old wood, and finally you see clear to leave it behind you. And as you bid it farewell, you come across a pile of stones by the side of the path, a cairn honoring the dead. It is unmarked. Do you stop, despite your exhaustion and your fear, do you stop a while to offer a prayer and honor the dead, even those whose names are lost to time? Do you look around a moment to see if anyone traveling by has left something useful, but don't linger long, there's marching to be done? Or do you take the time to dig through the cairn, taking any offerings you can find? The dead need them not. So do that, dig through, and for us, let's have one last kind of scene as you emerge from the woods, right? You come out of the old wood, having lost much within its dark domain. What is everybody like? I'm particularly interested in Isgard and Magnus. Like, how, when we see the two of you, what do we see? Is there clash there? Is there tension? What do we see?
Well, I'm not happy with what has happened. But yeah, I will attempt to walk over to Isgard.
I knew most in this caravan did not trust me, but I came along because there would be need for what I can do. I did not include you in that most, Magnus.
You do realize that was not all me. That was some kind of power put over me by that wood that you spoke of, by that witch that you fought.
Oh, I am aware, and you were warned.
What else were we supposed to do? We had to get out of that wood.
Let's just be thankful we are out now and press on. Dredgehammer must make it to Grinholm.
What was that thing?
I don't know.
Well, I don't trust it. And while I will continue to be by your side, you do understand that I may not trust all magic at this point.
That is no change from how we started.
So when you say that, we fade over. So Adric, you've just fought a bunch of these terrible creatures and lived to tell the tale. You got some new bruises, a new wound in your side to tell the story. But those guys that were following you before, they're like your best buds now. They're just like, yes, that was amazing. I saw you fight those horrible creatures. Thank goodness, Adric, that we have you here to see. You need to protect us from this one. He's terrifying. I heard he tried to kill the witch. And like everybody's like, this little group of guys are really excited about you, and they're happy that you did this battle. When you see the two of them talking, what is your countenance like? Like, what do we see? Do you look worried?
I feel a bit worried because I haven't had a good experience with magic thus far, and I'm still unaware of the healing that took place in the first battle we were in. that helped me survive, really. So I think maybe I'd like to talk to Magnus about what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So do you do that now, or do you just like remember like I should talk to him when he's less tense?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna talk to him when he's less tense.
So there's a meaningful look where you see him, you acknowledge, you're like, oh, there's some. I'm gonna have a conversation with Varl.
Plus, I don't think I'll forget the way that the Broomhilder showed how Isgard looked in that vision.
Yeah.
Even though she seemed evil, I mean, I don't know how could she make a vision like that happen?
Mm-hmm. Okay,
if
cool.
it weren't true, you know.
Yeah. So some suspicion and worry. On Edric's face. Sylvie, we see you, and your shield's got a big dent in it from getting thrown into these stone creatures. You faced a foe that you had never seen before. What do you look like? And all the humans are like looking to you because you're their favorite. But what do you look like in this moment?
I'm trying to take the moment to kind of reflect because our caravan has suffered a tremendous loss.
Mm-hmm.
And even with whatever of us is left, there's a lot of tensions, and it's a lot of stress on me to try and like keep everyone moving forward in an orderly fashion and try and make everyone get along.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's not going to be easy.
Yeah. So we see you kind of like helping people along. I think we see there's this little kid that you haven't seen, but we saw earlier. This little girl. She like runs up to you and like grabs your arm, like grabs your hand, and like she's got soot on her face from the fire, and she's all exhausted from all the marching, and she just runs up and like grabs onto you and won't let go. Do you like pick her up, or are you just kind of like?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm just gonna pick her up and carry her with me, and we'll just go off in silence.
Yeah, cool.
And in peace.
Yeah, you get your shield on your back, and we see you just like lift this little girl up, and she looks back at the woods, and she's obviously like she's lost her father, like he's gone, and she just kind of like clings to you. And we see you pass into the group, kind of leading everybody along. And then last, Torvald
got punched in the throat.
Yeah. So
during the battle.
So this is the thing. Yeah, I was gonna say. So like you protected him, we see you, and you kind of got the 1,000-yard stare. You've obviously been injured in the fight, and Bjorn comes up to you and kind of gives you a nudge, and looks up at you like, "Hey, it'll be okay. We got each other, buddy," and like nudges you along. And we take that shot, and we get the kind of establishing shot as we pan back on the other side of the woods, leaving its dark shadow behind as the group of you head on your way, almost there.
And then I was gonna head over to talk to Sylvie, like a usual, but this time like I see her with the girl, and then one of the people that's with her like turns around and gives me like the
like
so
you stay away from us.
Yeah, so then I don't no talking to Sylvie this time.
Awesome. All right. And so we fade to credits on that tense note here at the end of episode 3. Wow. And that'll do us for today. This is a tense one.
Yeah.
I'm sweating.
Role-playing games. They're serious business.
I have to take a shower now.
Oh, man.
I have to wash all the blood that is now on my hands.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I owe Trisha like a dinner or a lunch or something. Like I owe you a gift.
Agreed. I to
all
you
in
as
the
well.
Game. We are friends. I don't want to start any room. We are friends.
I love Andre.
This was all a game.
Yeah, we all like each other.
Yeah. But if you know from my Hyperforce, if you put me under mind control, no.
Get it.
Yeah.
Beautifully role played.
That was retaliation from my Vesper hits.
That's good.
Cool. Well, thank you everybody for playing. This has been episode number 3 of Hyper RPG's Banner Saga role-playing game. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining in our caravan. Don't forget, you can pick up a copy of any of the parts of the Banner Saga trilogy on Steam or on your console of choice right now. Go do it. Go check it out. It's a really cool game. And thank you for Stoic for sponsoring the stream. And that'll be it for us for today. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.